Welcome to Canada Life Centre in downtown Winnipeg, Manitoba for a CEBL playoff game between the Winnipeg Sea Bears and Saskatoon Mamba. Good evening, I'm Tegan Raja, and thanks for joining us. Winnipeg and Saskatoon are familiar rivals, playing each other 4 times so far this season, with Winnipeg winning 3 of those games. However, tonight, the Sea Bears are going to be without a few of their key players, including top scorer Teddy Allen. As for Saskatoon, the Mamba are coming off 3 straight wins and are having a historic season in franchise history. Everything is on the line tonight for both these 2 teams. With more, here's Joey and Dave.
All right, thank you so much, Tegan. Yes, I'm Joey Slattery. Alongside me is Dave Crook. We are here. It is the playoffs, and everything is on the line tonight. Winnipeg has been in the playoffs every year since they've been here, yet to win a game. This is the first time these 2 teams have met in the playoffs. Great for a rivalry between 2 cities like Saskatoon and Winnipeg.
Yeah, I mean, 2 great teams. They both had pretty good seasons. Both are explosive. They can do a lot of things. I'm really interested in, a one and done is just such a dangerous thing.
Yeah, and obviously the big news coming into this game, Teddy Allen not available. He was involved in an incident where he sustained some injuries. Team put out a statement. He's not available to play tonight. On top of that, Jeremiah Tillman Jr. left to pursue opportunities in Turkey, while Emmanuel Aycott has left to pursue opportunity in Mexico. Those are 3 guys who were regular starters on this team. So right off the hop, after a very consistent season for the Sea Bears roster-wise, everything's kind of shifted upside down here going into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's really not the time you want to have all these things happen. You lose 60% of your starting lineup, basically. But they're lucky they have got some other guys who can fill some roles. And obviously the addition of Xavier Moon, at about 3/4 of the way through the season, is a big piece of the puzzle for Mike Rainbow and the Sea Bears.
Yeah, newest Sea Bear, Ben Stevens, will be getting his first look tonight as a Sea Bear. Tough start, playoff game. But here he is, and he's going to be expected to get some time in for Jeremiah Tillman Jr.'s absence. Saskatoon comes in as the hottest team in the league right now. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. Let's take a look at the matchup stats here to see how these teams go head-to-head. It is a team that is much different from the last time they played here in Winnipeg on July 15th. They're averaging north of 95 points a game, but dead even in the points. Field goal percentage, dead even. Free throw percentage, slight edge to Winnipeg, and the 3-point percentage in favor of the Saskatoon Mamba. Probably going to fall a lot on Tavian Dunn-Martin, who is a stellar shooter. Assist, the ball's going to move around tonight. We expect that, and the rebounding will be huge tonight. Again, Winnipeg, without Jeremiah Tillman Jr., will be depending on a team effort. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. Let's start with the visiting Saskatoon Mamba here, playing their first playoff game against the Sea Bears in Winnipeg.
I mean, they have to score in transition. I think they're one of the best transition offenses certainly in the West and probably in the whole league. So one of the things they need to do is they need to rack up some points that way. Their 3-point attack, they're the best 3-point shooting offense in the league, and they have to be on. This is a little tougher building to shoot in, see how they do. And I think a big question for them is offensive rebound or get back in transition. What's the most important thing? Do they want to stop Winnipeg by going to the glass and getting second chance opportunities, or do they want to try to slow them down and not give up any points that way?
And we take a look at the Sea Bears now, again, trying to get that off their back. They've not won a playoff game. What's it going to take to walk out with a win tonight?
Well, they got to contain Dunn-Martin. He's just such a difference maker the way he plays. He creates with the penetration. He can shoot it himself. He does a lot of things. They keep him in check. That goes a long way. Quarter-court offense. They've got to make some things happen in the quarter-court. Obviously, they're going to score in transition. They do that well, but they've got to be better in the last 25 feet. And then they got to control the glass. I think if they're the best rebounding team on the floor tonight, they got a good chance to win.
Well, Mike Rainbow has plenty of playoff experience at the U Sports level. This is his first game as a head coach as a pro. Our own Tegan Rasha caught up with him before the game.
Well, Coach, it's that point of the season you've been waiting for. How are you feeling ahead of tonight's playoff game here at home?
Yeah, we're excited for the challenge. We know that it's going to be an exciting atmosphere here, and it's going to be a tall test, and it's really fun when every possession is important.
You're going to be without a few key players tonight, including your top scorer, Teddy Allen. How do the rest of the guys have to adjust?
Yeah, we really need everybody to step up and give their best effort, and some other guys are going to get an opportunity to put on display their talents, and we're going to put some people in some different positions, and we're looking forward to that challenge.
Saskatoon is a familiar rival. You played them 4 times this year, but won 3 of those games. What are the keys to tonight's game?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, anything can happen in a single game elimination, and every possession is important. Saskatchewan does a really good job of scoring early in the clock and making 3-point shots, and for us, we got to make sure that we're back in transition, and we got to make every 3-point attempt as difficult as possible.
All right, thanks, and best of luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
We are in for a dandy tonight. It is playoff basketball in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Stay with us. Plenty more to come before tip-off. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, TSN Plus, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Welcome to a new CEBL season.
It's been amazing, Canada basketball, to put that platform and give guys an out.
The crowds were bigger, the players got better, the quality of the game got better.
You gotta love it, Canadian Goose.
Fasten your seatbelt tonight because we're gonna have some high energy and some high flying stuff.
This is the trail, this is the real, and all that I gotta say. I'm in my zone.
No shortage of emotion, no shortage of intensity as anticipated.
Sliding away. What a block from behind.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Welcome back inside Canada Life Center. It is Western Conference semifinal Thursday here in Winnipeg, Manitoba between the Saskatoon Mamba and the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Starting lineups being introduced right now. So why not take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game, starting with the visiting Saskatoon Mamba. No surprises here. Trey Townsend, Tavian Dunmartin, one of the most lethal shooters in this league. Devontae Bandu, Jaden Bediako, and Jameer Chaplin. All of those players have had a great game here against Winnipeg in the past. They're going to need to put it all together here tonight if they want to continue on. For the Sea Bears, as mentioned, shorthanded, a very different looking starting lineup tonight. Trey McGowan's getting the start with Simon Hildebrandt, Xavier Moon, Isaiah Osborne, and DJ Burns. Burns being one of those players that's been a very important role player for the Sea Bears team from an emotional standpoint. Dave Crook is our color analyst. I'm Joey Slattery. Tegan Rasha is our sideline reporter. Dave, as we take a look at our players to watch, who have you have outlined here for the Mamba?
Well, I went the easy way out tonight. I mean, I went with Dunmartin and Moon, right? I mean, two exciting players. I mean, Tavian Dunmartin, he can sort of do everything. He can shoot it. He handles the ball. He's a creator. He's great in transition. I mean, one of the risks for him is his size. Can Winnipeg get him involved defensively? Can they take advantage of him? At the same token, can Winnipeg control him? Because if they can't, he can create. He makes everybody on the floor better, and he has the ability to score himself.
And when he's scoring, he's having fun, and it opens up a ton of options. Now let's take a look at your player to watch, Xavier Moon, who's had an absolute explosive start here as a Sea Bear.
Yeah, I mean, he's quality player. He's one of the best players in the league. You know, he can do a lot of things. Again, same idea. He could score, he could create, he can rebound. He's a really good defender. He puts in a shift every single time out. So I think it's exciting to have, you know, what are arguably maybe the two best point guards in the league going head to head in this game tonight. It's unbelievable for the fans, and I'm really looking forward to watching them both go at it.
Yeah, and we are just about to get underway here. It is win or go home, and no one knows where they're playing tomorrow regardless. They'll all be decided tonight in Vancouver when the Bandits are taking on the Edmonton Stingers. Taking a look at those key players, it's going to be a showdown between Tavian Dunmartin wearing 7 in Saskatoon's purple and Grady in black, the Sea Bears in their whites with Winnipeg across the chest, playing for the city after a very intense few days in Winnipeg. That's seen some very key players leave. We talked to DJ Burns before the game, and he said this is a team that's built chemistry throughout the season. They're not worried. This is what they were expecting, to face this adversity, and he says he's ready for the challenge tonight. Tip-off is presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL, and we are underway in Winnipeg, the Western Conference semifinal between the Saskatoon Mamba and the Winnipeg Sea Bears Mamba. We'll get the first possession. Here's our player to watch, Tavian Dunmartin, looking for a spot. Puts it upstairs, tapped away by Burns. Great defensive play by number 55. Here he is on the run. Back to Hildebrand. Here's an early three. Cans it. Big start there that they needed from Simon Hildebrand.
Exactly what Winnipeg wants to do. A great job on the defensive end. They got the stop. They create something in transition. Hildebrand gets the easy 3 ball. Saskatoon needs to play fast. That's what they want to do in the front court and the full court.
Speaking of that, one of the quickest guys on the floor gets 2. That's who they're trying to shut down. Nice cut there from Tavian Dunmartin. McGowan's with it now, working on Dunmartin, breaking him down to the post, trying to use the size advantage. McGowan's going to draw the foul on Bediako and go to the line for 2. That's a big play from Trey McGowan's, who himself is trying to get back into rhythm after having to sit a few games because of the import rule.
Yeah, one of the things that that I talked about, I think, in the pregame was the fact that as much as Dunmartin is a trouble for anybody, right? His ability to score, he's a water bug, he's all over the floor. But the opposite is, if you can get him involved defensively, you can take advantage. That's a tough matchup for him with Trey McGowan's big guard who can, get to the basket and score. He's almost like a first point guard playing in that off guard role today, or actually they're playing with a combo situation with him and Moon. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one all night long.
McGowan's missed his first one, is good on his second, so it's a 2-point ball game here for too early in this ball game. Bandu, one of the outstanding Canadians in this league. Going to slow things down here for Saskatoon. Finds an angle on Moon, goes right into him. Tough shot, doesn't get it to fall, but it's going to be a foul on the play. He'll go to the line.
Neither coach can be happy with the 2 stars taking a foul on almost the first possession on each way defensively. I guess second possession for both teams. But one thing Winnipeg may be able to do with this new lineup without Tillman, especially we'll see a little more switching. I think I would see some of that. I also expect to see some zone from Saskatoon as the night goes on.
Bandu hits the first one. He's a 76% free throw shooter this season for the Mamba. And that's another area that Winnipeg has to pay attention to with a short bench. They've got 2 development players in Kato Haro from the University of Winnipeg and Ramogi Nyagudi from the University of Manitoba, as Bandu hits both of those shots. 9 players of the regular rotation, well, 8 if you include Stevens, who's played 10 games with Montreal this season, which has made him eligible. So fouls will be something to watch throughout this game. Ball movement here from Winnipeg. Moon on the cut, finds Osborne. Here's a 3. Cans it. Gotta feel good.
That's massive. That's a big thing. Osborne struggled the last few weeks. Needs to get going. I told you before the game I thought he was an important piece of the puzzle.
And it is a different game in the playoffs, and he said he's ready for those bright lights. He's been here before, and he's had big games in the playoffs. Would love to have one here tonight. Here's a drive. Little mishandle, but Chapman gets it out to the corner. 3 ball, no good. That was from Townsend. Rebound from Bediako, and he's going to put that in over Burns.
Great play by Bediako. Engine's running. He gets the ball, makes a nice finish over Burns.
Skip pass to Osborne. Another 3 for Isaiah.
Back to back. I think that's more than he made in the last 3 weeks. That's fantastic for him and the Sea Bears. The other thing you'll notice is they're really working hard to keep the ball out of Dunmartin's hands as much as they can.
Dunmartin pulls up, and he's blocked by Moon. Looking at the referee, no call. Here comes Winnipeg on the run. It's Burns leading it right into Hildebrand, but he bobbles the ball. Last touched by a Mamba player. Didn't see who it went off of, but it will remain Winnipeg basketball.
That's a situation where Burns would almost be better taking that right to the rack, trying to finish either drawing contact. Put Hildebrand in a tough spot. He couldn't make the catch. Winnipeg retains possession.
Bit of a lucky bounce here for Winnipeg. Moon with a quick three from the corner, and he cans that. It's raining threes for Winnipeg early.
Right on tempo. He just moved, caught the ball, one action, knocked it down. Great shot there from Xavier Moon.
Here's Dunmartin, doesn't need much space, gets it around. Here's Bandu with a three. Close out from Moon, enough to put off the shot. Rebound here for Chaplin. He puts up a three, and he cans that.
He's a dynamite shooter, can really knock shots down. He's got that little sideways movement. He loves that sidestep as people come out and close out on him. Got the open look that time.
Talked about how important rebounding is. There's an example as to why for Winnipeg. Something Saskatoon wants to capitalize on. Townsend takes some elbow in the face, it looks like, as McGowan's went in. Nonetheless, it's 2 points for the Sea Bears.
Big, strong take there. It looks like Townsend's going to have to come out of the game. Looks like there's some blood in his mouth.
He's calling for a sub here as he's bleeding, trying to tell the ref, but play will go on, and there's going to be a travel call against Chaplin. That'll get the substitution in here for Townsend, who goes right to the end of the bench to see the athletic trainer.
Yeah,
and DJ Burns getting the fans into it as he does.
He does that. He loves to get the people going. McGowan's made a good, strong take to the rim. There was contact when he went up. Nothing flagrant, nothing intentional, but tough for Townsend to catch that elbow in the mouth, and that doesn't feel great.
And Damari Monsanto, first time the Sea Bears see him, he's checked into the game. The Hialeah, Florida native. A lot of buzz around him with the Mamba. He's expected to be a difference maker off the bench. Here's a good move by Burns, takes it right at the basket.
Strong take, Burns crossed over, goes to the rim, finishes off the glass. Nice take.
Skip pass to Dunmartin, Moon right on him, not giving him any space. You gotta love this matchup. Here's Dunmartin taking his time, goes up, can't get the ball to fall. Bediako with another rebound. Everybody fighting him, but he is so strong down low.
That's problematic. Bediako he just goes and goes and goes to the glass, and Winnipeg had no answer for him. And the other end, McGowan's with another strong take.
And a steal from Moon for three, no! And McGowan's looking to get the connection here to put it off of bounds. It's going to be a foul against McGowan's, a hold. That was a wild sequence.
Yeah, what a sequence. Turn of affairs there. I mean, a great take by McGowan's. He got to the rim, finished, and then Winnipeg takes it away. And they're really, like I said, they're putting a lot of pressure on the full court, trying to make things happen. It's interesting, though. I mean, Moon is so athletic, and even he has trouble staying in front of Dunmartin.
He's quick, he's shifty. I talked to Xavier Moon about it yesterday, and he said he's tough because he can get to those spots that most players can't. That's how he uses size to his advantage, and has a great finish around the rim. There's a nice take there. That was from Chaplin.
Yeah, up against Bates, Krause. Krause is a pretty good defender, and he just had no answer there.
Yeah, Krause into the game, as well as Jelani Watson-Gale. Here's Watson-Gale back out to Burns. Here's a three, and hits front rim. Doesn't get a lot of arc on that shot.
It's tough, too, when Burns is on the perimeter shooting. Winnipeg had nobody on the glass at all in the offensive end there.
Long three, no good, but you can take those when you've got Bediako under the rim. Here's Dunmartin, fakes the shot. Oh, gets him jump twice. Here's Chaplin for three. Boom. And now Saskatoon starting to heat up here as they're down just three as we're now past the halfway point.
Chaplin's a great shooter. They got to get him off the line. They can't let him have that time and space.
Here's Moon now, draws the double, and there's going to be a foul called here. I think this is going to go against Chaplin.
I think it's Bediako.
Is it Bediako?
Yeah, I think
there it is, yep.
Yeah, you got caught up with Burns in that little screen and roll situation, and picks up the foul, but boy, he's been a force so far. What has he got, 4 or 5 rebounds? I don't know what the stats have him for, but he has just been a beast down in that offensive end.
And a TV timeout, so that means it's break time for us. Stay with us. More Western Conference semifinal basketball around the corner. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, TSN Plus, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
At Cal Tire, we know trust isn't built overnight. It takes decades of doing the work right here in Canada. With the best tires, true service, and honest expertise since 1953.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying?
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
Welcome back. You are watching the Western Conference semifinal between the Saskatoon Mamba and the Winnipeg Sea Bears. This Western Conference playoff game is presented by Cal Tire. Today's officials are crew chief Wasim Husseini, umpires Jason Steele and Wyatt Anders. And they are in a fast-paced game right now. 4:38 left in the first quarter. It is 19-16. The Winnipeg Sea Bears leading the Saskatoon Mamba in the very first playoff matchup between these two teams. I'm Joey Slattery. Alongside me is Dave Crook, and we've got Tegan Rasha on the sidelines for us tonight. Watson Gale inbounding the ball here. Watson Gale gets it back at the wing. Working on Townsend. Size differential here. 7 on the shot clock. He calls for the clear. On Townsend, going to pull up just inside the three-point line, and he gets it to go.
Tougher matchup for Townsend. Watson Gale, a point guard, goes up against him. Gives him opportunity to give him a little pull-up jump shot.
Townsend fumbles it a little bit, able to retain that possession. Pass is tipped and stolen by Mason Krause, the all-time steals leader at the University of Manitoba. Now he gets it back at the wing to former teammate, current pro teammate, Simon Hildebrand. Here's Moon. They're not giving him much room either. He's got Townsend. Size advantage here if he could use it. 5 on the shot clock. Here's McGowan's with it. Got to put something up. It goes up at the buzzer, and he gets the friendly roll.
Gets up to finish there on the inside. Looks like the Mamba might have been in a zone coming out of that timeout.
Here's a pull-up, mid-range, no good. Moon tips it to himself for the rebound, then he puts the Jets on. Goes all the way himself, and he lays it in for 2, and it is electric in here. You can feel this playoff atmosphere.
Yeah, people are excited, but that's important for Winnipeg. Xavier Moon coming down to the glass. They're without the big man on the floor, they're going to need everybody crashing, and then he just took off in transition. Put the Jets on.
Here's Clayton with the ball now, gets it down to the corner. That's Bandu down there. Bandu working on Hildebrand. Here's the drive, 3-point shot, no good. Hildebrand with the rebound. Trey Townsend out there with Devontae Bandu, Jameer Chaplin, Jaden Clayton, and Damari Monsanto as Watson Gale misses the shot. Rebound tracked down by Mason Krause, and he draws the foul on Devontae Bandu. Good hustle play there from Winnipeg.
Yeah, nice play by Krause to get after it. He was at a size advantage. It looked like there was no way he was coming up with the ball. Just didn't stop working. We can see here he picks it up and gets fouled. Winnipeg maintained possession.
Trey McGowan's back into the game for Mason Krause. A very impactful 2 minutes and 15 seconds for Mason Krause.
Yeah, he did a great job out there, and that's what they're going to need him to do all night long. But a high-scoring, quick-tempoed game so far, Joe.
Jelani Watson Gale out there with Trey McGowan's Xavier Moon, Hildebrand, as he puts up the 3. And that'll miss everything and go out of bounds. Jelani Watson Gale out there as well.
Yeah, I mean, right now, both teams playing fast, trying to make things happen. Saskatoon has a small lineup out there. It's sort of playing into the hands of Winnipeg right now because Winnipeg is not a big team.
Karimane just checked into the game here. His first floor time of tonight's semifinal, conference semifinal. Another steal for Winnipeg. Here's Moon down to the corner. Watson Gale going to spot up. Yes.
Winnipeg tough in transition. Moon making things happen. Watson Gale ran to the corner. Moon saw him. Gets him the ball. Nice easy 3-ball. Winnipeg really shooting it well tonight.
Yeah, very loud in here already. This is target time level noise here as Saskatoon calls the timeout. Mamba trailing by 12 to the Winnipeg Sea Bears, and Isaiah Fox calling the timeout. Isaiah Fox has done a phenomenal job, Dave Crook, with this Mamba team. With his team, you've got Greg Jocums, U Sports legend, Jamie Campbell, an up-and-coming coach in youth sports, and I talked to him today, and he said, you know, it's his first head coaching job. It's a big change going from the G League to, you know, the CEBL, FIBA basketball in general. He said, you know, from the players to the staff and the support that he's got, he said it's been a great experience. And he said, I can't really put my finger on why we've been playing so well, but a lot of it has to do with just sticking with the process and not losing their cool. He said it when he was here the first time earlier on this year. They were 0-4, and he said, it's a 24-game season. We've got 20 games to make it up, and now they find themselves in a great position here, peaking at the absolute right time.
Yeah, they just keep getting better, it seems, every single week. He has done an outstanding job, and it's really difficult. People don't understand. Your first coaching job, you worry about every single thing you do. So, yeah, he's been great all year. They've gotten better, and they've just stuck to the process, and, you know, they've got into the playoffs hot at the right time.
Follow us at CEB League on all social platforms to stay up to date on stats, storylines, and more for all 10 teams in Canada's Pro Basketball League. But there are only 8 left. Some games already underway as we take a look at what's happening here. Looking at a very tight game in Brampton, 80-79. Don't have a time on that one, but it says the 4th period. And over in Scarborough, the Shooting Stars leading the Niagara River Lions 43-37. Both the Scarborough Shooting Stars and Honey Badgers shorthanded after a handful of suspensions and fines heading out to both teams after a melee in Scarborough just a few days ago. Here's a drive, and it's going to draw a foul. And this one going to go against Simon Hildebrand, so that'll be Hildebrand's first foul of the night.
Yeah, just an awkward stance there. Got cut up leg to leg. Simon Hildebrand not really moving his feet in that situation. Has to maybe try to jump up and stop the ball if he can.
So it appears Brampton and Ottawa are in target time. I don't know what the target score is, but the current score is 93-91. Here's a long three, and he cans it. That is Damari Monsanto. That was the guy that Winnipeg has not seen here so far. It's also the first time the Mamba are seeing Xavier Moon, and he's going to put up another three. That one off the mark.
Monsanto looked pretty comfortable shooting the ball, but one of the things the Mamba do as a team, they shoot the ball as well or better than anybody in this league from the three-point line.
Townsend takes the ball in the post on Hildebrand. Good defense from Hildebrand. Better offense from Townsend, who gets another 2.
Yeah, good finish on the inside. The Mamba keep attacking. Looks like this could be a high-scoring one, Joey, right now.
Wow. Mike Rainbow thought it would be in the 80s. We'll let the game decide that.
Could right? It looks like it could be 80 at the half the way they're going.
Here's Winnipeg trying to add to the lead. Watson Gale turns around, spins with the fadeaway, and he gets it to fall.
He's been a nice addition. He has, you know, it's been a rough start to the season for him. Came in late, but he's played well, and we know what he can do.
Minute left here in the first quarter. And Trey McGowan's goes down, and it looks like it's going to be a foul against McGowan's for a block. So that'll be his second foul of tonight's game. Team foul number 4. So the next foul will mean foul shots.
It's also a situation where they can't really afford to have McGowan's on the bench for very long. So that's a tough call. A little bit of incidental contact on the baseline. Tough one for the Sea Bears.
15 on the shot clock. Townsend with has the ball knocked away by DJ Burns, and Townsend is furious. Burns to Krause to a trailing Moon. Acrobatics, no. Burns gets the rebound. He's fighting down low, goes up, and the ball is knocked out of bounds. He throws it out of bounds, but they're going to say it is Saskatoon who hit it, and there's going to be a warning against the Sea Bears bench.
Both teams are a little unhappy with the no contact call there on the inside. I know that Townsend was unhappy with what happened in one end, Winnipeg unhappy with what happened in the other, but a good hustle play there by Burns to come up with the ball for the Sea Bears.
This has been a pain point all season across the league. Here's a shot, no good. Burns gets the rebound again, gets it out to Moon. Moon side shuffles, has the ball knocked away, and it's going to be a foul here, and that's going to go against Saskatoon.
I think Dunmartin get called for the reach in there. That'll be his second.
Well, that is a very important foul call here if that's going against him. And yeah, there's a couple of hands in there, but it's going to go against Dunmartin. Here's the inbound. Osborne for 3. No. And Moon going to get the rebound. Good positioning there as it went over the back. Here's Mason Krause for 3. No. And finally, Saskatoon able to secure that ball and go the other way here as there's less than 30 to play. A second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Going upstairs to Townsend, had to chase it down, and he loses it. Another turnover here from Saskatoon. So Winnipeg has a chance to hold for the last shot with 16.3 left.
A little bit of a sloppy pass there from Monsanto. He had Townsend on the roll going to the rim, but just threw the ball out of bounds. So a tough play for the Mamba.
Moon buying himself a few seconds on the late pickup. Tavian Dunmartin guarding him right at half. 8 seconds left. Moon gets the screen from Burns. Got some space. He finds space in the middle. And he's going to draw the foul with 3.1 left here in the first quarter.
There we go again. What an explosive play. Xavier Moon comes off that high screen, gets into the paint, and there's a reach-in foul late. Gets a chance to go to the line in 3 seconds. But explosive. He just changes speeds, at the drop of a hat.
And Ramogi and Yagudi going to check into the game here for the first time this season. Yagudi had some NCAA experience before transferring to the University of Manitoba this last season. Played with Mason Krause, and this year will be expected to be one of the leaders on a Bison's team who's seeing massive turnover. 9 players graduated from the Bisons. There's a shot from Moon, gets the first one to go and extends this lead to 10.
Yaguti's going to have an opportunity to play a little defense here, see if he can make something happen. Winnipeg don't want to risk a foul on Xavier Moon to end the quarter.
A great, great athlete. If you live in a U Sports town, and Manitoba's in town, he's worth the price of admission as he checks into the game here for the first time in his professional career to close out this quarter. 3.1 seconds left, a defensive task here for number 22. Here's a chance. Mane from half. Good if it goes. And no, it'll clank. And the Sea Bears will take a 32-21 lead into the quarter break. Stay with us. Second quarter action around the corner. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, TSN Plus, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes. Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win.
You gotta love a Canadian boots.
Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
Welcome back inside Canada Life Center. It is the Western Conference semifinal matchup between the Saskatoon Mamba and the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Two rival cities going head-to-head for the first time in the CEBL playoffs. We have Tegan Rasha standing by with an update. Tegan, what do you got for us?
Well, Joey, halfway through that first quarter, Coach Fox was telling his guys that he notices the pace is quite fast, but let the Sea Bears get tired, gas them out. Meanwhile, Mike Rainbow was telling his guys to keep the pace, keep attacking, use this to your advantage. And now just at this first quarter, he's telling the guys to shut down Tavian Dunmartin and watch the posts on the defense.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tegan. Appreciate the update here. And yeah, they got to get a little bit of urgency here. Not that they haven't played with it, but it's the playoffs. There's no time to get things going here. If you lose, you're out. So urgency needs to pick up in the second quarter. Winnipeg, though, also going to have to keep up the pace. Here's Burns trying to do just that. His layup misses. Krause knocks it loose, but Saskatoon able to pick it up. Dunmartin in a trap of 3 defenders. Watson Gale comes out with it over to Krause. He goes up with the left hand and gets the roll and and one, Mason Krause.
Great take, great finish by Mason Krause. Goes strong to the rim with his left hand off the glass, draws the contact. They'll have a chance for a three-point play. Nice play by Winnipeg to put a little pressure on the ball there, take it away in half court. They're really trying to contain Dunmartin as much as they possibly can. But I also thought it was interesting what Tegan said, that, Sask is trying to get saying the tempo's up. They're trying to wear the Sea Bears down, and Winnipeg saying, keep pushing, keep going. So, interesting.
And we have a final score out of Brampton. The Honey Badgers overcome the Ottawa Blackjacks, who had a great season this year, especially in the second half. They trailed a little bit towards the end, but they got into the playoffs. They lose 95-91. Matthew Moncrief with the target score winner there in Brampton. So Brampton moving on to the Eastern Conference semifinals. Here's Osborne trying to do the same for Winnipeg. Turnaround Jay, no. Battle for the rebound. Good fight. Mason Krause knocks it loose. Burns gets it back. Gets it over to Watson Gale. They're going to reset here. They got 10 on the shot clock. Worked all the way back around to Krause, who finds space in the key. Hook shot, no. And Townsend going to put it out of bounds off of DJ Burns. So Saskatoon will get that, but a nice hustle play again from Mason Krause.
Yeah, Mason Krause and DJ Burns, the two of them just keep going to the glass over and over and over. That's what Winnipeg's going to have to do. They don't have one great rebounder on the floor, so it's going to have to be a team effort all night long.
Here's Dunmartin now taking the screen, loses his defender, pulls up, not going to miss from there.
Nice touch, nice stop. Straight up and down, clean off the glass.
Watson Gale just going to walk it up down to the wing, goes to the corner, pulls up for three, and he cans it. Better hit that if you're going to take it off the no pass.
Wow, that's confident. He just walked down the floor, moved down a little bit. Dunmartin stepped back a little bit, got a little space, and just knocked down the three.
Well, this is exactly what they needed from guys like Watson Gale. Here's Dunmartin for three, no, and there's the rebound for Osborne. Moving the ball ahead to Krause. He's just going to slow it down at the wing. Krause, one of the more storied point guards with the Bisons. Here's a three for Watson Gale. Does not get the friendly bounce, and it's a rebound for Bediako, who's back in the game. Bediako playing with one foul. Dunmartin playing with two. Goes around Moon. Stutter step, gets it out to the corner. Here's a three from Monsanto, no good. And Mason Krause fighting for the rebound, but there's going to be a foul on the play, and it's going to go against DJ Burns. So Burns now has his first foul of the ball game.
Looks like he got tangled up on the arms there with Bediako, and that's going to be a tough assignment for him all night long, dealing with the big man, the long-armed athlete on the inside, and just got tangled up, and he gets that call on the rebound.
So here's the inbound under the basket for Saskatoon. It's Bandu to Bediako. Gets it at the wing. He's looking for an option. He finds Bandu, who streaks past his defender. Easy 2 points.
Great read there on the floor. Back cut. No one defending. No one protecting the rim for Winnipeg. Easy 2 for the Mamba.
Here is a three-pointer from Burns. No, again, a little bit flat on the shot. And Dunmartin's going to carry it out for Saskatoon with some speed. Into Bediako, working on Burns. Man, he's strong, and he's going to just roll that in. No, it rolls out. And Simon Hildebrandt picks up the rebound. Watson Gale has Dunmartin on him. Plenty of time on the shot clock, and a call for the screen for Burns. Draws the double, finds Burns. They're going to leave him open after he misses a couple of threes. Burns steps inside, gets blocked by Bediako. And Bandu gets it out to Dunmartin, and he saves it, but it goes right into the hands of Burns, who's going to wait for Moon. Moon backs it up wisely here and gets set into the offense. He has, space down the middle. Nice take and flip from Xavier Moon.
Tough spot there for Townsend. There's no way he can stay in front of Moon. Moon just goes to the rim and finished. Looked like we got fouled. No call, though.
Taking a while for Bediako to get back into play. Here's a three-pointer, and that's TDM for three.
So tough when he gets the time and space. He's going to knock it down. This is a great game. Up and down, high tempo. Both teams shooting the ball really well from the perimeter.
It's a 12-point ball game. Make that 14 as Moon hits another mid-range jumper from the baseline.
And that's going to be a thorn in the side of the Mamba all night. They got to find a way to keep somebody in front of Xavier Moon.
Yeah, Moon's got 10. Townsend goes upstairs. What a finish, but it doesn't fall. That was Chaplin in the sky. Osborne now takes his time, sets up the three. Yes.
I think that's 3 in a row for him. That's what the Winnipeg needs. And I'll tell you, I don't know how how Chaplin caught the ball and had a chance to shoot it there on the other end. Unbelievable.
You can feel the sigh of relief in this building as Isaiah Osborne is picking up heat here in the conference semifinal. Stay with us. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CEBL Plus, TSN Plus, CBC Gem, and YouTube.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying?
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
The CEBL, Canada's Pro Basketball League, and redtag.ca brings Canadian basketball fans a chance to save up to $300 off on vacation bookings all season long with promo code CEBLFans. I wonder how our mascots would spend their time on vacation. Book today with Red Tag and save $300.
Redtag.ca.
Cal Tires, a proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tires price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. I'm Joey Slattery. Alongside me is Dave Crook. Our sideline reporter tonight is Tegan Rasha. This is the Western Conference semifinal where the Saskatoon Mamba are trailing the Winnipeg Sea Bears 45-28. And there are some glaring statistics here when you look at how this game is shaping up. 14 points off turnovers for Winnipeg, 0 for Saskatoon. 20 points on the fast break from Winnipeg, 0 for Saskatoon. And Winnipeg also getting 13 bench points, averaging 1.54 points per possession.
It's almost like a perfect script for Winnipeg. That's what they needed if they were going to, take it to Saskatoon tonight. Then that's what they've got. They're getting so far. Shooting the ball well, and they've been great in transition.
Tavia Dunmartin with the ball now. Needs to get something going for Saskatoon. They'd love to dig into this deficit here as we near the halfway point of the second quarter. Here's Bandu, skips it out to a streaking Chaplin. He's blocked by Filowich, but he's going to get the foul in the process, and he's not happy with that, but a nice hustle play, an exciting play there from Filowich.
Yeah, no question there's contact. Yes, he gets a little bit of the ball, but he's knocking a guy to the floor. You can see it there, a lot of contact on the arm, but Filowich could be important. He's a big man. He can rebound. He's a pretty good athlete. They're going to need him to battle against Bediako on the inside.
Tegan Rasha was in the timeout, has an update for us. What do you got, Tegan?
Well, Joey, Saskatoon down by 17 right now, and Coach Fox's biggest words of wisdom, stay calm and protect the ball.
Yeah, and that's been the motto all season here in the state calm, and he's been good at that here even in this game. Thank you, Tegan. As Chaplin hit the first one, and he's going to cash the second one as well. So it's a 15-point ball game here. Winnipeg leading it. They've led by as much as 17 before those shots. The energy is electric here in Canada Life Centre for this playoff game. Here's Trey McGowan's putting up another two.
And again, that's a great take by Trey McGowan against Dunmartin.
McGowan's has 10, and Moon has 10. Jelani Watson-Gale also with 10, and 9 points from Isaiah Osborne, really getting the team feel in this one. Here's Dunmartin, skips it all the way across, right back inside to Bediako, who's working on Filowich. Filowich playing defense, guides him out of bounds. What a play from Kyler Filowich, who has talked about this one before the game, his frustration with his playing time this year, but he said he's ready when the time calls, and that was an impactful minute and a little bit there for Filowich.
That's what they need him to do. They need him to go out there and bang bodies, and he did that. He did a great job. Give Burns a little bit of rest.
Making the most of his time there is Filowich. Also had a block. It was a foul, but it was a play that got this crowd into it. McGowan's takes the screen from Burns. TDM works around it. He goes right at Bediako, puts it up. No. Knocks the ball rather to Burns. Burns puts it up again. No good. No friendly bounce on the rim to our broadcast left. Bediako just going to dribble it up himself, get it down to Townsend. Skip past TDM. Takes it into the corner, working on Osborne. Back out to Chaplin. Chaplin finds some space and an easy lay in there for number 24.
Great vision from Dunmartin there. I don't know how on earth he saw Chap behind him. threw that ball over the top and got it for the easy drive and the 2 points for the Mamba.
Substitutions coming in for both teams here momentarily at the next break. All starters on the floor for both teams here as we are past the halfway point. Less than 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Moon with 5 on the shot clock. Going to measure his defender up. 1. Has to put it up. He does. And he doesn't get it, but a rebound from Isaiah Osborne, who has the ball knocked away. Back to McGowan's in the corner for 3. No. And Bandu going to secure that for Saskatoon. Long lead pass to Bediako is wide open, but Burns with the block. And they're going to call a foul. And Bediako right in the face of Burns. Burns just looking away.
Yeah, it's a tough one there for Burns. I don't think he wanted to commit the foul. We'll see it here on the replay. Bediako goes to the rim. Yeah, just too much contact on the arm. That's got to get called, and then they get tangled up a little bit after. But that's a tough one for Winnipeg because now Burns is going to have to take a seat with 2 fouls. But Filowich just put in a great shift to get the opportunity to play once again.
Yeah, Burns with 2 fouls, you mentioned, also has 7 rebounds and 2 points. Filowich was great in his first time out, didn't get much rest. He's right back into this game, as is Jelani Watson-Gale. Monsato out there for Saskatoon as DJ Burns blows kisses to the fans, and they give it right back to him as he goes to the bench. Here's Bediako's first attempt, and he planks that on the front rim.
Yeah, not close. I think McGowan's is coming out of the game to protect him, right? He's got 2. I think if they could keep the lead a little bit here stretched out, they're going to keep him on the bench as much as they can so that he's got 3 fouls for that second half.
Bediako, 1 for 2 rather. 47, 33, 3:30 left here in the second quarter. Jelani Watson-Gale to Filowich. Directing the floor to find Moon. Here's Hildebrand wide open in the corner. Can't get it to fall, and Bediako going to track that ball down.
Bediako could get 20 rebounds tonight the way he's going so far.
Here's a move around to Townsend. Monsanto working on Hildebrand. Sidestep 3, no. Easy one for Filowich here, and Moon going to keep the tempo up for Winnipeg. Quickly getting down to his spot, finds a space, pulls up mid-range baseline, clanks that off the back, and it's another rebound for Trey Townsend. And he's going to push it up. Here's a drive now. Right into Watson-Gale. Oh, tough shot, no good. And here is Xavier Moon on the run. Moon has 1 defender to beat. Puts it up, no. Filowich trails, and it goes out of bounds. New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL and all 10 of its teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jersey now by visiting CEBL.ca. 2:33 left in this one. Winnipeg with a sizable lead here, but not something you would trust in here. It's been a high-tempo game.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it's impacting Moon a little bit because he's logging a lot of minutes and he's playing at high tempo, and he's just not finishing the way he normally does a couple times there.
There's Bediako inside right over Filowich.
He finished there. That was a nice catch, nice finish on the inside from Bediako.
Bediako now has 7 points on the night and 9 rebounds already for Bediako. It's been a real fight between him and Burns. Burns on the bench with 2 fouls for Winnipeg. Watson-Gale out to Moon. Moved it around to Isaiah Osborne with a rare miss in this one. He was shooting 75% up until that one, as Mason Krause checks back into the game for Winnipeg.
Tough one there. Filowich was tangled up with Bediako on the inside. Looked like a little bit of contact, but in the end they're going to say the ball comes off Winnipeg and Mamba will take control. Winnipeg much smaller now. This is a small lineup with Hildebrand playing the 5 spot.
Here's Claxton.
Those are the ones that the Sea Bears don't want to take there. That's a tough one. Watson-Gale on a drive going nowhere, really. We'll get a chance to look at it on the replay, but he's not really doing much in Watson-Gale. Just a little late, steps up, bumps, just didn't get to the spot.
Minute 40 left here in the second quarter. Trey Townsend to Clayton. Takes the screen from Bediako. He's going to shuffle down to the post, and here's a shot now from Monsanto, no good. And Xavier Moon skies for the rebound and gets out on the run. Moon goes coast to coast, and he lays that one in for another 2. Moon is heating up here tonight. He's got 12, and they need that from number 17, one of the most storied players in this league, a 3-time MVP and 2-time champion with the Edmonton Stingers. Townsend to Bediako, goes right into Hildebrandt, and he puts in 2 points, and he's calling for the flop as he goes hard into Simon Hildebrandt.
Good finish, and Mamba have to be happy. Dunmartin's been down for about 3 minutes, and the lead hasn't really changed. Actually, it's come down a little bit, so that's great for Saskatoon going into the second half.
Here's Hildebrandt, moving it around to his former Bison's teammate Mason Krause. Krause goes into the middle. Finds a wide open Isaiah Osborne who slams it home. Coming up at the half, the top target scorer winners from the 2026 season. Teagan will be interviewing Saskatoon Mamba head coach Isaiah Fox, and the first half stats and revisits to Dave's players to watch as there's another 2 points from Clayton.
Tough finish on the inside. Clayton looked like it was going to be a turnover. Just battles through Simon Hildebrandt, gets the finish on the inside. Last time down for Winnipeg, Osborne made a great back cut. Got the pass from Krause. Looked like he was going back to Hildebrandt on the pick and pop, but found the open man underneath.
Here's Moon with speed, and he goes right at the glass and lays in another 2. He's got 14. 3 on the clock. Bediako puts it up. Good if it goes. No. And Simon Hildebrandt will secure that, and the Sea Bears secure a 14-point lead going into halftime. A great start for the Winnipeg Sea Bears. The fans are showing them love. They're playing severely shorthanded. Saskatoon has some things to look at here at the break, Dave Crook.
Yeah, both teams probably did a lot of the things they wanted to do. We saw that dunk there by Osborne on that back cut. You know, for Winnipeg, I think the big thing is they got the tempo up. Can they keep the legs? Can they keep the legs for the second half? Target score time comes. Are they going to be tired? Are they going to be ready to go? That's going to be the question.
And we are going to stand by here as Tegan Rasha is waiting for our halftime interview. It's going to be with Jelani Watson-Gale, who's had a great quarter here as well. Watson-Gale with 10 points in this one, and he's standing by with our own Tegan Rasha.
And Jelani, what a great first half for you with 10 points. How are you using the pressure of tonight's game to help your game?
It's just there's not really any pressure. Like you said, we're a few men down, so it's just next man up.
It's a fast-paced game, but you have a loud home crowd behind you. What do you have to do in this second half to get the win?
We just got to make sure that we keep playing defense, keep defending. Our defense is turning into easy scores on offense, so as long as we keep rebounding and defending, I think we'll be good.
All right, thanks and good luck.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right, thank you, Tegan. Yeah, this has been a great start. The fans are behind this Sea Bears team. We're going to take a quick break. Plenty coming up this halftime. Stay with us. You're watching CBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, TSN Plus, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Picked up by Vanderbilt. Screen, short. Carey Jr. off balance. 3 goes! Donald Carey Jr. wins it for the Niagara River Lions of the game. And Donald Carey Jr. finishes with 16 points. And Niagara.
The 3, they can pick up the win. Here's the shot, and they'll steal the victory. What a finish! Miles Powell, it's never over till it's over. And Miles Powell with the exclamation.
Pressure on. Turk. Smith. And it's over! Hercules does it! On the either team at moments, but the Alliance gritty, came back. And then Turk said, you know what? I've had quite enough of all of this.
Enough. He said enough.
Enough.
Foolishness. I'm going to hit that step back. You don't need the 3, but I'm going to take it anyways because that...
To Smart. Smart. Down low for Fudge. Fudge trying to end it, and does! Cap it off a fantastic game. Alex Fudge wins it for the Black. And we see he had a few slams throughout the game there today, but made it smart.
Cleveland once again. Ottawa has numbers. It's Elvis. Finds Fudge trailing. The layup drop. And the Ottawa Blackjacks win the game. Ending Scarborough's winning streak at 6 and giving more. And here is Fudge finishing it with the left hand.
Let's see if he pushes. Johnson wants to push, goes inside. Swinging it, Sims, ball game, yes!
Hello 3-0! The Shooting Stars complete one of the wildest comebacks you will ever see!
Take a look at the winner rate here. Sims from deep, and he bangs it through.
Listen, They had a play in the corner, and look, Tyne passed that up and gave it over to...
Also was for Calgary, along with Brown. Cheney driving. Cheney gives to Brown. Back for Cheney. Steps up, takes the shot. Hey, it's good! It's good! It's good! The Calgary Surge have their first win of the season. It's win one, ramped up by number one.
He is that guy, the bait to go into the hands of Devontae Brown.
Tight D. You got to think Powell's going to pop out. There he goes. Warren, good defender on Powell. Miles Powell looking to win this thing, looking to end this thing. Deep three for the win. No! Rebound! Shooting stars. Powell again. Again! He got it! He did it! Oh my goodness, what a finish! Now, and you know the name Miles Powell. Wow.
Miles Powell took that shot, missed it, and you out with the amazing rebound, gets it back to Powell, and listen, he took actions into his own hands, said, I'm hitting this shot today. All they need is a bucket. East, driving inside, East up with the left, off the window. Playoff ticket punch. For the first time since 2023, the Honey Badgers are headed to the big dance. On East, 26 points, his second straight target score time winner. And the biggest bucket of the season sends Brampton to the postseason.
Gibbons into the lane, pulls out of Shamar Gibbons, says goodnight. Over more, Montreal. Shamar Gibbons plays hero at LEC. What a ball game, folks. Vancouver outscores Montreal.
At Cal Tire, we know trust isn't built overnight. It takes decades of doing the work right here in Canada. With the best tires, true service, and honest expertise since 1953.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying...
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes. Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win.
You gotta love a Canadian news.
Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
Well, welcome back. It is halftime at Canada Life Centre here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. A great game here we have. It is 53-39. The Sea Bears are leading it, a 14-point deficit for the Mamba at half. Though they played at a high tempo, Dave Crook. I'm Joey Slattery. Dave Crook, our color analyst here tonight. Tegan Rosh, our sideline reporter. Just a great start for Winnipeg, though. They knew they were against it with three of their normal starters out of the lineup and not going to be here for the remainder of the playoffs. Everybody getting a touch, and you've got the players like Isaiah Osborne, Jelani Watson-Gale, guys that have struggled at times down the stretch, hitting their stride in the nick of time.
Well, they're pros, and they stepped up, and that's what they have to do. You know, Winnipeg did a lot of the things that they needed to be successful at, and they accomplished that. They gang rebound. They were, you know, they pressed. They gave them some pressure problems. I think the turnovers are like 14-0 or something. You know, it's crazy in terms of, you know, what Winnipeg was able to do. They really controlled how the game was played. They played at the same sort of speed that Saskatoon wants to play at, and it didn't really seem to have a negative impact on how, you know, how they played in the first half. So I would think that Winnipeg's going to want to see more of the same. It's going to be tough with Moon logging so many minutes, whether he breaks down or whether he can play all the way through. but he's got great support. The other guy's done well, and all of the smaller pieces, the filler, which is the Krauses, those guys have come in and they've really carried their weight.
Very impactful minutes from those guys, and yeah, you're right. No turnovers for Winnipeg, 9 for Saskatoon in the first half. Let's take a look at the highlights here, or sorry, the stats, and how they're evening out. If you look at it, field goal percentage, 46% for Winnipeg, 42 for Saskatoon. For 3 points though, 35% for Winnipeg. That has to feel good. Again, Isaiah Osborne hitting 3 of those in that first half after struggling in the last 4 games of the season. Free throws, each team missing just 1. Assist, 10-7. Saskatoon moving the ball around, and they're winning the rebound battle. That's an area I think if you're Winnipeg, you're keeping it close, and that might be as best you do, but you can't let them get away with getting all those boards.
Yeah, I think that only being 3 down isn't so bad in terms of, especially how it started. I think Bediako had 4 offensive rebounds in the first 5 minutes. So Winnipeg did a decent job, grew as the half went on, and like I said, they gang rebound, they got everybody involved. Guys are crashing the boards at both ends, and that's a critically important piece. I think the 3-point percentage is huge for them. Holding Saskatoon to 26%,
yeah.
That's really big defensively.
Well, we talked about the good 0 for Winnipeg with turnovers, some bad 0s for Saskatoon. Not a single point off turnovers, no fast break points, and no fast break points from turnovers. Winnipeg, though, 14 points from turnovers, 20 on the fast break, and 6 of those fast break points coming off the turnovers. Great, again, just a very complete first half, but they got to keep it going. We'll take a look at the highlights here to see how this all came about in this game. It's been a very quick-paced game. DJ Burns got it going. He's been the emotional charger here. Tavian Dunn-Martin not having the loudest of games that we're used to seeing from him. Dunn-Martin only has 7 points in this one. He's 3 for 7 from the field. Jelani Watson-Gale, some pretty shots throughout the game for him. Jaden Bediako doing a lot of the lifting here for Saskatoon. 23 points in the paint, and he's a big reason why. He's a lot of trouble down there, but the Sea Bears doing what they have to do to battle with him. But this has just been a back-and-forth affair. Winnipeg just coming up with more stops.
Yeah, they've done a great job on that. And I think part of the problem for Saskatoon, when Dunn-Martin picked up that second foul early, I think they had to sit him for about 3 minutes to end the half there, and that's probably not what they wanted to do. I mean, it worked out. The lead didn't really change. It stayed at 14, but at the same time, I think him not being on the floor has a huge impact on how they want to play. And the fact that they haven't scored in transition, which is one of the most important things that the Mamba do, big plus for Winnipeg.
Yeah, we have plenty more coming up. Stay with us. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on TSN Plus, CBC Gem, CEBL Plus, and YouTube.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
The CEBL, Canada's Pro Basketball League, and redtag.ca brings Canadian basketball fans a chance to save up to $300 off on vacation bookings all season long with promo code CEBLFans. I wonder how our mascots would spend their time on vacation. Book today with Red Tag and save $300.
Redtag.ca. The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying...
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
You don't just fuel your body. You fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The Dreamers, writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Welcome back. Here is Tegan Rasha standing by with Mamba head coach Isaiah Fox.
Well, Coach, you saw a very fast-paced first half, but your team finished down by 14. What do you think they did well in that first half?
Well, listen, we kept playing through a lot of the bull crap. I think the game's a pretty good physical on one end. I don't think we're getting the same calls on the other end. I thought we did a good job of trying to play through the contact and trying to get to the next action. And we're going to have to continue to do that. We're going to have to fight this team, fight the crowd, and fight some of the officiating for us to keep by keeping our mindset correct in order to win this game.
The rest of the season is on the line tonight. What else do you want to see adjusted by your team?
Well, listen, it's less assists and turnovers right now. We got to do a better job of moving the ball and also man movement as the ball's moving to open up some of these driving gaps and open up some of these passing lanes. But we got to just continue to play together as a team, keep our mindsets right, keep our mentality right. They can do it.
All right, thanks, Coach, and good luck, guys.
Thank you, Tegan. Yeah, there's nowhere for words there with Isaiah Fox. Knows exactly what he's frustrated with and what his team has to do. And this is a very challenging place to play in, Dave Crook. And he said he was excited for it, and this is what they were looking forward to. But you still have to meet the challenge. One thing to be excited, it's another thing to perform.
Yeah, and they've got to do some things a lot better than they did in the first half. And what he's talking about, all those points, are the things that they need to do to be successful. They've got to knock down three-point shots. So how are they going to do that? They've got to create them through transition, or they got to create them in the front court through penetration. They've got to move off the ball. They got a couple early, but they haven't had enough. And that's a big reason why Winnipeg's been able to control the game. And the fact that they've turned them over and that Winnipeg's been able to score in transition.
As we revisit your players to watch, a great game here from Xavier Moon and a good game from Xavier Dunmartin. But they just need a little more from him. 7 points, 42% from the field. He's got 3 assists and a rebound. Xavier Moon, 14 points, 50% from the field, 4 assists and 4 boards.
Yeah, I mean, if you double both those things, those are 2 pretty good games. I mean, you're not going to sneeze at 14-6 if that's what Dunmartin ends up with, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a few more minutes in the second half and those stats go up a little bit.
Yeah, and they've done a good job at snuffing him, but he is a guy that can catch fire at any time. He can launch the ball from pretty much anywhere. His range is where he wants it to be, so you can't relax with him.
Yeah, both of those guys are game changers, right? And we'll see what they do here in the second half. But, 2 exciting point guards, and both of them doing a good job. They both have the ability to score, and they both have the ability to create.
And taking a look at our path to the playoffs, we are in the playoffs, and the Eastern Semifinal is set. The Brampton Honey Badgers eliminate the Ottawa Blackjacks 95-91. And then we look at the other game here. That was a very big surprise. The 4 seed beating the number 1 seed, Scarborough Shooting Stars, who were playing shorthanded despite having Miles Powell in the lineup. 86-84 the final score in that one. So Niagara will head to Brampton for the East semifinal. Winnipeg trying to punch their ticket here as the 2 seed with a 14-point lead. Saskatoon, the 3 seed here, and they need a big second half if they want to pull off the upset later tonight at 9 o'clock Central Time. I believe that's when it starts for that one. Yeah. And that's going to be a big one. Edmonton Stingers trying to do what Niagara did in Vancouver. Not an easy task.
It's a good thing I'm not a betting man, because I would have had Ottawa and Scarborough in the final in the East.
You wouldn't have been the only one, but it has been an upside-down playoffs here as the way the season ended. There's plenty about that. And our second half is underway. The Mamba with the first possession looking to cash in. Here's TDM. Goes down the middle, finds a trailing Bediako, doesn't get it to fall, but he's going to draw a foul and go to the line for 2. And that is going to go against Isaiah Osborne. I believe that's his first foul.
That's exactly what the Mamba want. That's what Coach Fox was talking about. Movement off the ball. They got a little ball screen action. Dunmartin ends up with him in the baseline. He drives, and Bediako comes straight down the lane. He hits him. He's just a little lazy on the finish. Didn't get it to go, but he's got a chance for 2 from the line.
So he gets the first one. It's a 13-point ball game. And make it 2. Bediako from Brampton, Ontario. who we just found out will be hosting the Eastern Conference semifinal on Saturday. Winnipeg and Saskatoon looking for theirs. They don't know where they'll play. It all depends on what happens in Vancouver. Either of these teams could host the semifinal, or either of them could be going to Vancouver. There is a save from Burns to Osborne for 3, clanks that, and it's a rebound here from Chaplin. He finds Townsend on the run. Bandu guarded closely here by McGowans. He's going to wait for the screen. Goes the opposite way, but finds Bediako as he dives to the rim. No good, and it's a rebound for Trey McGowans. This Western Conference playoff game is presented by Cal Tire. Cal Tire, a proud sponsor of Western Conference playoff basketball, as we have another foul called here. Trey McGowans drawing that one on Trey Townsend, and it'll be 2 shots.
Yeah, strong take by McGowans. He goes to the rim. Townsend's, you know, a good defender, but it's a tough time moving his feet against the point guard. Gets sideways, there's contact underneath. He doesn't think he committed a foul, but the referees thought otherwise, and McGowans will get a chance for 2.
McGowans good on the first one. Restores that 13-point lead. They've led by as much as 17 in this game, the Sea Bears. Saskatoon yet to have a lead. And right back to where we started at the beginning of this half. Dunn-Martin, quick and shifty, finds some space around Moon, but he can't get the floater to fall. He's been struggling with that as well. Here's Moon with it now, TDM. Quick to get back on defense, and there's a rare turnover from Xavier Moon, giving it right to Bediako. And as Bandu was driving to the basket, he couldn't handle the pass from Tavian Dunn-Martin, so it's a turnover for Saskatoon after creating the turnover from Winnipeg, getting a gift.
Really, really sloppy play there. I mean, Xavier Moon didn't see Bediako coming, you know, delayed in transition, turns it over. Winnipeg's first of the game. But then Saskatoon, I mean, a play that kills coaches. When you take the ball away, you can't give it back for free.
Osborne goes to the rack, 2 points, and the foul.
Nice finish there by Osborne. And again, the Mamba are not happy with the call on that end, and they've got to try to stay focused. They're a little bit caught up in the officiating. They're not pleased. They're thinking that there's touch fouls on one end, and they're not getting the same thing at the other end.
Chance for a 3-point play here for Isaiah Osborne. Cans that.
He's having his best game in weeks. It's great timing for the Sea Bears.
Yeah, and it's a 17-point lead again, tying the biggest lead of the game. Saskatoon really needs to get some stops as well as some baskets. Dunn-Martin working on Burns, has to pick up his dribble. Good defense from Burns, who knocks the ball out.
But I think they're going to call that a shooting foul.
Wow. Wow. He fumbled the ball. He's looking for the pass. There is video review. Each team gets 1. I don't think Mike Rainbow's going to use it in this case, because you lose it as soon as you use it, regardless of whether it's good or bad. But you only get 1 for the entire game, including target score time. But that's a tough one here, as Burns is going to come off before he gets in trouble. Ref trying to explain it, but that is not the right call.
Well, he was forcing one up. He was trying to get rid of the ball, and it looked like he was going to the rim, and he's going to get that foul call, and he's going to get an opportunity to shoot 3. But that's tough for Winnipeg, but a great break for the Mamba.
Big break for the Mamba, and TDM is the guy you want to have take the break. You know, but this is the thing too. You know, Isaiah Fox was talking about that at his end in the first half.
Exactly.
You know, they was going against Saskatoon. It goes both ways. It's just tough for coaches on both sides to deal with the inconsistency. But that one, just a tough one there. It was pretty much tied up. Yeah, it was a foul.
But I think Burns got his hand in. And
he definitely did. It was definitely a foul.
That's something you can't do.
Yeah. Just the shooting motion was certainly not there. As there's another turnover. Here comes Trey McGowans. Going to call for a screen here, working with the roll of Hildebrand. He's got 3 on the shot clock, has to put it up. He does, off the glass, making it look easy.
Nice soft touch over the bigger Bediako, but again, the big man having trouble staying in front of him.
Here's Bandu spotting up wide open for 3. No friendly bounce. Townsend flies in, can't get it to fall, but he will go to the line for 2, drawing the foul in the process. And this foul is going to go against Trey McGowan. So McGowan's now has 3.
And that's tough for Winnipeg. And I'll tell you what happens. That gets compounded. Bad transition defense, an open shot on the perimeter. Townsend makes a great crash to the glass, and McGowan gets caught late, picks up the foul. Winnipeg really can't afford to have him sit down with 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
And a smart play there by Townsend, too. That was great. Follow to the ball, got his defender out of position, and then he goes to the line.
Yeah, aggressive though. That's one thing that the Mamba are. They've been aggressive. They attack the glass. They've done that all night, and that's one thing they have to continue to do against a smaller Sea Bears team.
Townsend missing the second one. He's been a massive part of this Mamba team, the first-year CEBL player from Oxford, Michigan. Can't get that second one to fall here, so the Sea Bears still working with a sizable lead. Here's Watson Gale for 3. No. And again, Bediako with a rebound. Bediako has been cleaning up those boards. He's got 10 here tonight. Chaplin going to get by Moon, but there's a foul on the play against the Mamba.
I think they're going to call Bediako for a little bit of a moving screen there. I think he stuck his hip out a little bit, tripped up Moon as he came over the top. But one thing from the Sea Bears, they just can't start being reliant on the 3-ball. If they're going to do that, they're going to shoot it at an okay clip, probably around 30, 32, 34%. But I don't know if that's going to be good enough against this Mamba team. They need to continue to attack. They need to continue to get transition.
It is a 15-point lead for the Sea Bears. Moon has it. Clayton guarding him closely. Takes the screen from Hildebrand. Over to Watson Gale. Going back wing to wing here. Looking for Hildebrand in the post. They finally find him. He's on Clayton, the smaller defender. Looking for the double team. He goes up, and he's going to draw the foul. That'll be 2 shots, and Clayton can't believe that.
Yeah, it's tough. And they're already frustrated. We're going to see a replay here. Hildebrand squares up. And there's a hand reaches in, could have been a call there, didn't get it. And then on the second one, there's no question. He's got 2 hands grabbing his wrist. So it's tough to argue against that.
It's tough, and that's the frustrating part too. Even from the Mamba, you'd rather the first one be called because it wasn't a shot.
Right.
But
in the end, he misses one, and that's what they need to do. But, one of the key things from the Mamba, and you alluded to it earlier, they have to make stops. And that's not one of the things that they do best. One of the better part of their game is offense and transition and rebounding. Those are the things they do very, very well.
6:35 left in the third quarter. Mamba trailing by 16. And a nice play there by Clayton to chip into it. Moon with it now over to Hildebrand, wide open for 3, and he cans that.
Nice job there, but again, the Mamba trying to put so much attention on Moon. Forget about Hildebrand on the pop. Dunmartin's got a long closeout, but he can't get there against Simon Hildebrand.
Another 17-point lead for the Sea Bears. That's a number that keeps haunting the Mamba, and here again, they bring it down to 15 with Townsend getting the basket on the assist from Monsanto. Moon working with Hildebrand, finds some space, puts up the 3, no, and it's taken down by Monsanto, and Townsend going to dribble it up. Takes the screen from Bandu, taking it into the post on Hildebrand, using his size, and lays that in for 2 points. Trey Townsend taking matters into his own hands. Winnipeg wasting no time getting into the offense on a long lead pass. Here's Watson Gale in the middle, skips it out to Osborne. Lots of time, and he cans the 3. Isaiah Osborne is back.
Confidence is a big thing. He had time and space, and again, a great shooter. He knocks it down.
And here's a 3-pointer from Saskatoon, and Monsanto gets it to fall. That's a big one for Saskatoon, who continues to try and chip away at this lead, but again, comes down with the stops. They've just not been finding them.
Yeah, that's a great answer back, though, on that 3-ball there from Monsanto.
Krause over to Hildebrand, 3 from the wing. No, Osborne flies in, but it's Townsend coming down with it. Here's Moon trying to get to Clayton. Clayton with speed right down the middle, and he lays it in for 2, and Saskatoon getting a little momentum.
Great take. I almost thought Rainbow was going to go with a timeout off that one because things just aren't flowing really well for Winnipeg right now. Bit of a standstill, a bit of a lull in the game. They're not executing.
It's an 11-point lead now. Saskatoon starting to feel it. Moon trying to extend it, and he does. Xavier Moon is so dangerous.
How's that for an answer? Get it to his, you got a problem, get it to Xavier Moon and see what he can do.
I think he's taken this game personal. A lot of people thought without Teddy Allen specifically, as the ball goes inside out of bounds, it will remain Saskatoon basketball. But a lot of people thought, Dave Crook, that without Teddy Allen specifically, then you take out Tillman Jr., that, you know, Saskatoon, despite being the lower seed, might have the upper hand. But I think guys like Xavier Moon is like, hey, they brought me in here for this reason.
Well, I mean, you know, losing those guys is a big piece, and losing Teddy Allen obviously is a huge piece. But Xavier Moon, he's the best player in the league.
Yeah.
And he's showing it tonight.
Yep. And we will be right back with more action here. It is a timeout. Stay with us. More basketball after the break.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
OPA is a proud sponsor of the CEBL playoffs, as we are back in here in the Western Conference semifinal with 4 minutes and 9 seconds left here in the third quarter. Winnipeg, again, every time Saskatoon makes a run, Winnipeg is able to cap it here to maintain that double-digit lead. I'm Joey Slattery, Dave Crook alongside me. Tegan Rosh is our sideline reporter. And Dave, you know, it's one of those tough ones because this is typical sometimes in these games. But in the playoffs, it has to feel urgent. And Isaiah Fox keeps preaching, keep it down, right? Let's not panic. But at some point here, you got to start turning these.
Yeah, they just got to, it's good. They got to do it on the defensive end, and that's where it's going to take.
Here's Monsanto for three. He doesn't get that one to fall. He hit his last one, misses this one. Trey McGowan's going to pick it up and take it the other way. Winnipeg has time on their side here, so they're going to slow it down. Winnipeg, often the team that plays the aggressive defense, looking to turn defense into offense. Tonight, though, they've been really into their offensive sets here, particularly in this second half. 5 on the shot clock. McGowan's has space, puts up the three. No. And it's going to bounce over the basket, over the backboard, and out of bounds.
See how long the Mamba play without Bediako on the floor. He's just been such a different piece. Winnipeg doesn't have any real answer for him in so many ways. So they've played with him without him for a while. Let's see how long they can go.
And here's a steal. Mason Krause with another. Krause going all the way reverse lay, and 2 points and the foul. Mason Krause.
Yeah, great play by Mason Krause. And like we talked about at halftime, one of the things that Winnipeg has got is they've got great minutes from those, support guys, and Mason Krause is one of them. He's out there for energy. He's out there to play defense. He's got some rebounds. And he's been able to finish a couple times, and now he's got a chance for a three-point play.
Mason Krause with a couple of steals here. He's the all-time steals leader for the Manitoba Bisons. He's getting ready to go to Germany after this.
You got to quit saying that already.
Yeah, that's the Westman guy beside me. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, wait, once Kato Haro gets on the floor, you'll hear a lot more Westman.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, a great game here for Mason Krause. 5 points, 2 rebounds, a couple of steals, and a blocking call here against the Sea Bears. It'll be 2 shots for Jameer Chaplin. That's going to go against Simon Hildebrand. So Hildebrand now has got 2 fouls in this one.
Yeah, and fouls could become a factor as the game goes on, but a smart take there by Chaplin. He got Hildebrand. Hildebrand had a tough time moving side to side. He just went right by him, actually right into him, drew the contact, gets to the line to shoot a pair.
And a good tactic, too, from, Saskatoon. Go at them, because at the very least, you have to make, like Rainbow, make decisions on his rotation here, because you got to start sitting some impactful guys that have been really hot.
There's no question, and they've already, had to do some of that with McGowan's going down. Burns has been on the bench quite a bit. So, that's problematic for Winnipeg.
And he gets that one to fall as well, so it's a 13-point ball game here. Winnipeg leading it, but Saskatoon has not been able to crack that double-digit deficit since the first quarter.
I think they'd really like to get it into singles to start the fourth quarter. And Moon, uncharacteristic, misses that layup.
Good trap there, but wide open. TDM can't get it to fall. Bediako, though, doing what he does best, but then he turns the ball over to Xavier Moon. Moon trapped by 3 players. It opens up the floor for the rest of the Sea Bears. Watson Gale, hesitation, gets it into Burns. Little bit of melee there, but he's able to lay in 2.
Not the cleanest play of all time, but it works out for DJ Burns.
And TDM going to bring it right up. Looking to draw the double. It was quick. Now it goes into Bediako, who's going to take extended post position here on Burns. Thought he had the corner. No, he's struggling to get it off. Finds Chaplin in the middle, and Chaplin with a tough 2.
That's one thing that the Mamba do really well. They move off the ball, they cut to the basket, and they're used to that with, a great creator like Dunmartin.
Moon pulls up, no. TDM has the ball, almost had it knocked away, but here he is with speed down the wing. He's so fast. Skip pass to the corner. Chaplin for 3. Yes! And Saskatoon is starting to feel it now. It's a 10-point ball game.
Huge play there. Dunmartin throws that ball cross court 50 feet to the other side of the corner to the shooter, who knocks down the 3 ball. And right now, Winnipeg look a little bit antsy.
Mamba coming off their most successful season here. The Saskatchewan Rattlers is what they were known as before this season. New colors, new name, new era as Burns drops in 2. And again, another response from Winnipeg to get it back up to 12.
Great finish by Burns. He took it right at Bediako, does a little spin move and throws a hook up over the top for 2.
Dunmartin gets around Krause, going to take it himself. And Tavian Dunmartin starting to find his groove.
They just got it. They don't have anybody to protect the rim, so it's just so difficult. He puts it on the deck. Nobody can stay in front of him.
Dunmartin has 12. And that's 5 points this quarter. 1 minute left in it. Here's Burns. Goes right at Bediako and draws the foul. So Bediako now has 3 fouls here for Saskatoon.
Yeah, that's a great take there by Burns. You can see in the instant replay, Moon kicks it off, and he just goes right at him, draws the contact. Lazy foul. Bediako reaches in. Coach Fox is going to stay with him. They're going to go with the bigger lineup here.
Get your exclusive Sea Bears merchandise today, including the limited edition Guard the Den and Space Jam t-shirts by visiting seabears.ca/shop and rep the team all playoffs long. It is not over yet. They've been in cruise control for most of this game, but Saskatoon now finds themselves in an 11-point deficit here with less than a minute to play in the third quarter. Simon Hildebrand back into the game for DJ Burns. So the Sea Bears have Moon, Osborne, Burns, Watson, Gale, and, sorry, not Burns, Watson, Gale, Krause, and Hildebrand. Saskatoon has Dunmartin, Bediako, Chaplin, Clayton, and Monsanto. There's another turnover for the Mamba. Here's Krause, skips it out to the corner. Jelani Watson-Gale gets bumped by Chaplin, and it's going to be 2 shots now as Winnipeg, well, both teams now will be in the bonus.
And that's sort of what Winnipeg needs. They needed the defense to get something, create something, and here's an opportunity. We'll see Krause throw it to the corner. Watson-Gale drives baseline, a little bit of contact, gets knocked out of bounds. But Winnipeg needs that transition game. It was such an important piece that got the lead in the first half, and it's something that they've used all year so effectively. And if they don't have that, if Saskatoon could slow them down, that could be a big thing going into the fourth quarter and going to target score time.
Watson-Gale hits the first one. It's kind of like you alluded to, though, in your keys to the game, right? Like sometimes when you have to focus on the boards, it's hard to focus on the transition. When you don't have a big, the guards are a lot more involved, right? So It's that finding that right time to get in transition as well, where you don't leave yourself out to dry. Watson-Gale hits both.
You know, and Saskatoon wants to play fast, and right now Winnipeg wants to play fast. So I think in some ways Saskatoon's almost better if they slow the game down a little. And Dunmartin's so creative, little finish there on the crossover off the glass. Boy, oh boy. He's a handful.
And we just want to catch our breath.
I know, it's tough ice, but he is a real handful.
He is an MVP candidate for a reason here. There's a second between the shot clock and game clock, 13 seconds on the shot clock. Moon gonna hold it. Looking for the right shot, finds Hildebrand from range, puts up the fake, goes right at the rim, off the glass. No, Bediako gets the rebound. Is there enough time for a shot off? And that will not count.
Bediako got away with one there. He reached in on that drive from Simon Hildebrand. Definitely contact. could have got that call, and that would have given 4, and that would have been real trouble for the Mamba.
We are far from over. It's an 11-point ball game. Winnipeg leading Saskatoon. Stay with us. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, TSN Plus, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. Fourth quarter action coming up.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Did you know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team's score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91-80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
Time now for our Cruise of the Game, brought to you by Cal Tire, and here it is. It was a coast-to-coast effort from Xavier Moon, securing the rebound, putting on the Jets, going right down Main Street and laying in 2 of his many points tonight. He has, looking at the wrong stat sheet here, he's got 16.
Yeah, he's been really, really good tonight. Done a lot of things. Actually missed a couple chippies on the inside. He could easily be in the 20s right now, but again, he's such an important piece. He's logging so many minutes, carrying a load for the Sea Bears on almost every possession.
And we've got Tegan Rocha, our sideline reporter, standing by with an update. What do you got there, Tegan?
Well, Joey, it's very loud in here, but as you can imagine, the story tonight is all about the pace. Coach Fox telling the guys to push the pace, thinking that's going to tire his team out. And Coach Rainbow telling his guys it's super important we keep the pace too. So it's a fight over the pace, and both teams want it.
And that is going to be the difference in this one. Here's Hildebrandt going right at his defender. Can't get it to fall, putting it back. No, 3 attempts there. Nothing going for Simon Hildebrandt on that one, as Saskatoon is able to corral it. Here's a nice drive from Chaplin. Offhand, gets it to fall. 2 points in the foul, Jameer Chaplin.
Great take on the inside by Chaplin. Acrobatic, got in the air, contact. Hildebrandt had 3 cracks at the other end, couldn't get anything to go. And look at Chaplin comes down, runs into Hildebrandt, draws the contact, smart play, and gets it to fall on the acrobatic finish.
Chaplin quietly 21 points here, leading all scorers on the Mamba. All scorers in that game, for that matter.
Sea Bears have to be cautious here now. They can't get too caught up. They can't get emotional. They got to keep doing what they've done so far, and they can't let Saskatoon sort of take this game away from them.
Watson Gale has Townsend. He's going to pull it out, get the offense set here. Decides to take it himself. 3 points. Yes, Jelani Watson Gale is feeling it here tonight. He's got 15 points.
That's one of the ones as a coach where you're going, no, 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 yes.
Here's a drive, Clayton, blocked by Osborne, and might have been tipped by Osborne, I should say, not a block. And here's Xavier Moon. Goes right down the middle, skips it out to Krause, to Osborne for 3. No.
What a good possession for Winnipeg. That's what they need to do. They got to keep pushing the ball.
So still 11-point ball game. Winnipeg leading it. Target score time will come at the first whistle at 4 minutes or less in the fourth quarter. Here's a 3 from Bandu, no, and Hildebrandt able to track that rebound down. Hildebrandt having a good game on the boards. That's 7 for him tonight.
He's logged some critical minutes for Winnipeg.
He is playing the game they need him to play tonight. He's got 7 points, 7 rebounds. And he's getting some support from everybody else, including this guy, Jelani Watson-Gale, who's got 15, looking for more. 4 on the shot clock. He has Clayton on him. Has to get it up. He does. And doesn't hit the rim. Bandu will just pick it up and go the other way for the Mamba. Here's Bandu, gets around his defender, and he's wide open down Main Street. That's going to draw a timeout from Mike Rainbow, not happy with what he sees, because now, for the first time in a long time, it is less than a double-digit lead for the Winnipeg Sea Bears, up 81-72.
Yeah, nice take here by Bandu. He's been pretty quiet, hasn't really done a lot all game long on the scoring side of things. I think he's got 4, but that was a great take down the lane, goes by his guy, and this is where we're gonna see if all these minutes are gonna start to take a toll on some of these Sea Bear players, because they've had to log a lot of minutes, especially, you know, Watson Gale, McGowan's, and obviously Xavier Moon and Simon Hildebrand.
Yeah, still on the turnover side. Winnipeg only 1 so far, 14 for Saskatoon. So if they're getting into single-digit deficits and can even chip this, there's still 4 minutes to chip away at this even more. You know, despite the difficulties they've had, the competitiveness is not falling.
Oh no, I mean, it doesn't feel. I mean, the weird part about the game was it never really felt like a 14 to 17 point game. It always felt tighter than that. Saskatoon's been right there. The problem for them is they haven't generated enough stops. If they can continue to generate some stops like they did a little bit in that third quarter, they brought Winnipeg's pace down. Winnipeg still, you know, has a good opportunity to get into the high 90s. And, you know, at halftime, it looked like they're going to be well over 100. But if Saskatoon can continue to control the tempo and they can finish on the offensive end, stop Winnipeg from getting easy stuff in transition, go a long way to giving them an opportunity to win this game at target score.
Before we came back from the quarter two, a fun moment. The sister of the late, great Chad Posthumus hit a half-court shot. And I think Winnipeg might have the record for most half-court shots hit during an intermission. I think that's 3 in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think that one was more of a, you know, about...
oh, you got to take the moment away, don't you, Dave?
It's about 35-footer, not a half-court.
You're a man of details, Dave. I like it. You're holding everybody accountable. Nonetheless, it got the crowd going here, and they've been quiet since here as they're starting to feel Saskatoon get back into this one as Moon misses a shot. And here's a great opportunity for Saskatoon to dig into it a little more. Dunmartin's got Hildebrandt on him. Blows by Hildebrandt, has the ball knocked away, and it says last touch by Dunmartin, so it'll be Winnipeg basketball.
That's a huge turnover if it stays for the Mamba. They had an opportunity to really close the gap, and they had a great matchup with Dunmartin on Hildebrandt, but Simon did enough defensively to cause the turnover.
Get your exclusive Mamba merch now, including script and snake t-shirts, by visiting SaskatoonMambaShop.ca and support the team in their quest for a championship this season. Here's Trey McGowan's now. Gets it across to Hildebrandt. Here's a 3, no. And TDM gets the rebound, out he comes. Bandu gets it to the wing, they're gonna slow it down. Bandu finds some space in the middle. Nothing there, gets it out to Townsend. 10 on the shot clock for the Mamba. Here's Clayton. Back to Bandu. They got to do something here. Here's 3 on the shot. Bandu has a double team on and puts it up, and it's nowhere near the basket. That'll be a shot clock violation and another turnover here for Saskatoon.
A tough one for the Mamba. They were basically playing 4-on-5. Chaplin rolled his ankle on defense on the other end, and he had to hobble off. He couldn't really do anything, so it gave Winnipeg a little bit of an advantage because Simon Hildebrandt could cheat a little bit, and they had some extra defensive pressure on the ball.
So Winnipeg with a break here. They would love to rebuild this lead and get a little more comfort as we draw near to target score time. 6:45 left in the fourth quarter. Reminder, the first whistle at the 4-minute mark or after that will go into target score time. Ball being worked around by Winnipeg inside now to Burns. Back out to Krause. He sets into a 3. Just short. Here's Clayton with speed as he corrals that. And he has the ball knocked away. It's another steal, knocked away by McGowans to Krause, giving it back to McGowans. Now it's skipped out to the wing. Osborne looking for what he has. Nice play, a little hesitation. He lays it in, making it look easy, and that'll draw a timeout from Saskatoon. Isaiah Fox is livid with the referee right now.
Nice take there by Osborne getting to the rim, but again, it was defense creating offense. Something the Sea Bears have done all season long. We could see the strong take with the left hand there from Osborne. But the McGowans, with a little poke check from behind in the full court, gets that opportunity. Transition once again for Winnipeg, and that's what they needed.
A couple of great angles there on that take from Isaiah Osborne. He is having himself just a great game, a great bounce-back game in the nick of time. He's got 19 points, 7 for 12 from the field, and he's 4 for 8, 50% from the three-point line. This is a guy who struggled, and the whole time, Dave Crook, Isaiah Osborne said, I'm still confident in my shot. I'm still working on my shot. He said he's been coming early to practice to get shots. He's been staying late. You know, he says it's something I'm always working on. And he said, I hope they start. This morning he even said, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to. He's like, no, I hope they start falling. Like, at this point, it's out of my control. And you've been a coach and you played. You know, sometimes it even feels good coming off the hand, and it won't fall. But he's been sticking to it, and he's a guy that is a veteran, not only in this league but as a pro. And when the lights shine brightest, tends to be when he brings out his best game.
I mean, and, you know, he came in here the first, I think he had 20 the first 2 nights he played in this building, started off brilliantly, then, you know, things changed, the chemistry changed a little bit, Moon came in, he also had to find his place. Like, it's not easy for, I mean, it was hard enough for, you know, the Teddy Allen and Moon, the 2 so-called superstars, but it's hard for everybody to find their place and their role. And he took his time. He didn't stop doing the things that he does. He's got a good motor. He's a pretty good defender. And tonight, it's finally starting to pay off for him on the offensive end.
Yeah, and the pace picked up here too. A big part of that is Jaden Bediako has not played in a while here. He's got 4 fouls, and he's been a monster on the boards for Saskatoon, leading everybody with 14 boards in this game and 11 points. So Winnipeg has a chance to really take it down inside as Saskatoon tries to hold Bediako to target score time.
And, you know, that could be good and bad because it let the game...
Oh, my goodness, what a block from DJ Burns. Get that out of town as the crowd gets to its feet here and the momentum back in Winnipeg's favor with a big play by DJ Burns, who is the emotional driver of this squad.
And just like that, Bediako's back in the game. They sort of need it. We can see again, Dunmartin drives in and Burns knocks that one away. But I think this is a smart play by the Mamba. You got to get some minutes out of Bediako now.
Bediako back into the game, and Mamba do retain possession. Big block, but the possession stays with Saskatoon. There's 5 on the clock. Shot clock, that is. Here's Monsanto. 2 on him. He's got to get it up. I don't know if he knows, and that's not going to count. That's another shot clock violation for Saskatoon. And it's these kinds of turnovers it's hard to live with at this stage of the game.
Yeah, and momentum, and it gets the crowd going. Those aren't good things for Saskatoon. Coach Fox just trying to rally the troops, get him to calm down, get him back on defense, get him set.
5:40 left in the 4th quarter. Winnipeg leading 83-72. Burns trying to add to that. Out to Krause. Krause finds Bandu off balance. Nice take by Krause, but he can't get the layup to fall. Bediako with his 15th rebound of this game.
Krause needed to finish that one. Great job by Burns, creating space for him on the inside. Mason's a little strong.
Townsend's 3 was no good. Tavian Dunmartin tracked down the loose ball and then draws the foul. This one's going to go against Isaiah Osborne.
I think it's just going to be possession.
Oh, sorry. It's not going to be against Osborne.
No.
That's going to be against Mason Krause. There it is. Yeah, on the replay, it's clearly there. I didn't have the view of Mason Krause, but not a concern there. Only Krause's first foul, but it's 2 fouls on the Sea Bears. No fouls yet for Saskatoon, which bodes well for them here as they are down 11 points and we're getting closer to target score time. Monsanto gets Burns to jump. Now he puts up the 3. No, and Moon going to sky for that one. Xavier Moon now has 5 rebounds. Here's Osborne for 3. No. Monsanto rebounding a quick outlet, but it's intercepted by Isaiah Osborne, and just a tough spot to get that as he was going over half. Gets it to Simon Hildebrand, who's also transitioning back on defense.
Yeah, not a great play by the Mamba. They got away with one, but 2 Winnipeg guys both crossing center trying to save the ball, and in the end, Hildebrand just couldn't get his feet stopped, and then in the end, he lands, and possession goes back to Saskatoon, but they got lucky on that one.
So Saskatoon with another chance here. Shot clock has 7 seconds on it. Here's Bandu going to pull up, and he's blocked by Xavier Moon. And he's able to get the out-of-bounds call, or no, it's going to be a foul against Bandu as well. What a turn of events for Winnipeg. Tough call there for the Mamba.
So we see on the replay, Moon's going to block the shot, and then he's going to hustle, go for the ball, and he's going to get fouled from behind by Bandu. Bandu's had a frustrating night on the offensive end. Things just haven't dropped for him. And it's a tough one there when you get blocked. He's not happy with it.
Moon's got 16 points and 6 assists, 5 rebounds, but his defensive game is on fire. 4 steals and a block here, and that was the biggest one of the game so far. Here he is popping up for 3, clanks it. Burns swatted back out to Moon, and a fresh shot clock here. This will get us real close to target score time. Watson Gale for 3, and he draws the foul on Tavian Dunmartin. And now the crowd crowd is into it.
The crowd is into it, and that's a big 4-point play. That's huge play for Winnipeg. But DJ Burns went up and created that by tipping the ball out. It goes to Moon. He makes the defense close out, swings it over, and Watson Gale knocks down the big 3 ball with a chance to be 4.
My goodness, this is an incredible game here. Winnipeg, every time it seems like Saskatoon has momentum, they've got an answer. 87-72 is the score. Another 15-point lead for the Sea Bears. Here's Tierney and Dunmartin trying to get something going. No, but Bediako there to tip it in. He's got the double-double going tonight. Bediako has been the driver for this team. 13 points rather for Bediako. 16 rebounds for the Mamba big man.
He came to play.
Yes, he did. Now here's Moon putting the handles on. A little show over to Watson Gale for 3. Hands it.
Confidence is amazing, eh? When you think it's going in, it goes in. He made the last one. Moon found him. He knocks down that one. And I think we're going to enter target score time.
Watson Gale is fired up. This has been his best game since returning to the Sea Bears. He's got 22 points, 3 assists, and the crowd is already fired up. Target score time is next. My goodness. A lot of work here for Saskatoon. Winnipeg starting to smell that conference semifinal berth and their first playoff win in franchise history. Stay with us. You're watching CBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, TSN Plus, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes. Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian boots. Two hands, me. Oh, what a block from behind.
Next bucket wins. Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama,
that anything can happen.
Big players step up in big time. He is cooking.
Welcome back. It is target score time at Canada Life Centre, the most electric time in this building. Winnipeg with a 90-74 lead, 16-point deficit. They need 9 to get their first ever win in the playoffs since joining the CEBL in 2023. Saskatoon has no clock working against them, but they need to get those stops. A long way to go for Saskatoon. If they're going to get this, they need 25 points. They need a 25-8 run if they're going to win this game.
It's not going to be easy. The Sea Bears have momentum. They have things going. One of the things we've seen a few times, though, teams get into target score. They play a little differently. Winnipeg just has to stay focused, do the things they did to build that lead back.
And Saskatoon has the first possession. It ended with Jelani Watson-Gale canning a 3. He has 22 points tonight. By far his best performance as a Sea Bear. Here's the pass worked around. Monsanto's pass tip, but Townsend secures it. Only 3 on the shot clock, and the Saskatoon Mamba turn it over yet again.
Yeah, tough one on the inside. They really tried to break down the Sea Bears. They got a nice back cut, but they couldn't make the catch in the end. It turns over. Winnipeg's going to have a chance to draw first blood here in target score time.
19 turnovers to Winnipeg's 2. Saskatoon has struggled to take care of the ball tonight, and it's cost them. Here's Moon looking to get the first points at target score time. He's got 10 on the shot clock. Simon Hildebrand working hard in the post here. Gets out to Watson Gale, fakes the shot. He's got 3 on the shot clock, pulls up, and he is on fire.
He was a finisher the first time he was here, and he's playing tonight.
Vintage Jelani Watson-Gale is here tonight. He's got 24, and wow, Tavian Dunmartin, 3 points and a chance for the 4-point play. And they desperately needed a play like that. TDM, ATM, doesn't miss from there often.
Big play. We can see Hildebrand step up. Not often you see 2 4-point plays in the same game. Never mind the same quarter, and about 2 minutes apart. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Tavian Dunn-Martin, it's been a struggle for him. They did zero in on him. He still has 17 points tonight, a chance to make it 18 here as he gets that to fall. He also has 5 assists and 3 rebounds. But none of that matters if they can't come out with the win. Winnipeg 7 points away from that first playoff victory. Here's Moon with it, settling things down. He's never lost a game in the target score era in his CEBL career. He averages more than 20 points a game in those playoff games as TDM hits another 3.
Big shot, boy, oh boy, confident. He just was looking at the rim and he just knocks that down coming out of transition. Winnipeg need to be cautious.
Hey, if Saskatoon has any hope, they need him to shoot the lights out like that, and he is very capable of it. Winnipeg cannot take their foot off the pedal if they want to come out of here with the win. Saskatoon with a chance to make it a very big comeback. Here's Watson Gale looking for the response, not there, but Hildebrand chases down the rebound, tells Moon to settle it down. Moon finds the space between defenders and lays in another 2. Xavier Moon taking over here in target score time.
Big time players in big time moments.
That's 18 for Moon. Dunn-Martin goes up. The ball is blocked, but it's going to be a foul called against Winnipeg. See who this one goes against.
2 players went up and there was contact on Dunn-Martin's drive. We'll see who they called.
That's going to be on Moon, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it there. But I'll tell you what, I mean, Dunn-Martin, he doesn't want the game to end. He doesn't want the season to end, and he's doing everything he can to pull his teammates and drag them to the finish line.
I mean, right now, it's a 12-point ball game. He can get it back to 11. Again, it's the stops. But he is putting up a desperate effort here and playing phenomenal in the target score frame. He's got 23 points on the night. Coming into this, he only had 14 points in the target score time. Moon goes up, tough shot, thought he got fouled. And the Mamba with a chance here, maybe bring it within single digits. And here, Dunn-Martin, crowd wanted the double dribble call. Here's Martin going inside, and he's blocked. And a big stop for Winnipeg, as that would have put some momentum in the favor of the Mamba. Here's Hildebrand, gives the extra pass to Watson Gale. Yes! Jelani Watson Gale, 27 points. The closer is back, and the Sea Bears are 2 points away from their first ever playoff victory. Timeout, Saskatoon.
What a smart play by Simon Hildebrand. Looked like he was going to force it up, throws it down into the corner to Watson Gale, and he unguarded. He's hot hand right now, and he knocks down that 3 ball to get Winnipeg 1 possession away from the victory.
My goodness, this has been the Jelani game. Everybody was waiting for it. It's been a tough go for Jelani Watson Gale, who came here from the UK, had to get used to the time change and playing in 2 different time zones when he first got here, back and forth between the West Coast and here. Finally had a few days to get settled in, get used to being in this time zone, getting the rest, and that's what he said. It wasn't the basketball, it was the getting back to the sleep patterns and things like that, and now he's settled in. And here's the other thing, Dave Crook, when you don't have to make the decision between imports, everybody knows they're ready to play. There's no guessing game. Right. You're going through every day like you're playing the next game, and I think we're seeing the dividends paid off of that.
Yeah, I think there's no question, and part of it has been, like, for Winnipeg, when you think about the game tonight, many people have the Mamba favored, you know, with all the changes that happened to the Winnipeg roster this week. And then tonight, Burns had a great game. Watson Gale's had a great game. Osborne's had a great game. Hildebrand's had a great game. Moon's done what you expected him to do. Krause has been efficient off the bench. Everybody that they put on the floor has done the things they needed to do. Great effort for the Winnipeg Sea Bears.
Checking at the out-of-town scoreboard, as mentioned, the Eastern Conference semifinals already set. Brampton will host Niagara. Vancouver up early on Edmonton, 13-11 in the first quarter. The crowd into this one wanting a stop. They can sense it. Everybody's on their feet. Not a seat being used. As Tavian Dunn-Martin, another 2. He's got 25, and he is the lifeline for Saskatoon. But Xavier Moon going to dribble up here. The Sea Bears a chance to win their first ever playoff game. Xavier Moon's never lost a playoff game in the target score era. Jelani Watson Gale has 27. Looking to close the game as he's done so many times in 23. He passes it up to Osborne for the win! No, and Jaden Bediako, gets the rebound. Tavian Dunn-Martin going to pull up for a long 3. Yes! Tavian Dunn-Martin is on fire in this frame. 28 points. for Tavian Dunn-Martin, but is it too little, too late? 15 on the shot clock. Here's Moon, hand in his game, or game in his hands rather. He gets fouled. And this is going to go against Jameer Chaplin, and it's going to be 2 shots for Xavier Moon to send the Winnipeg Sea Bears to their first ever, or give the Sea Bears their first ever playoff win.
Yeah, Moon, tough play. He knew he wanted it. He took it down the lane. Tough play there. Chaplin reaches in, and there's a foul, and Moon's going to have a chance from the charity stripe to win this one.
You can hear a pin drop in this building on the first shot, and he cans that. So now, Xavier Moon has the game in his hands, a chance to make history in Winnipeg. A free throw here will send them to the conference semifinal, giving him the first playoff win in franchise history. And there it is! The Winnipeg Sea Bears win 99-88! And for the first time in franchise history, the Winnipeg Sea Bears win a playoff game, and they do it at home in front of Sea Bears Nation. And they will wait to see whether they are going to be hosting the conference semifinal or heading to Vancouver.
What a performance by Winnipeg, a team effort. They did a great job. You know, you lose Teddy Allen, who's going to, most likely going to be the MVP in the league. You lose your best big man. All kinds of changes to the roster, and they just rose up and played the way they had to play to win. Coach Rainbow thought they were going to be in the 80s. Well, they held the Mamba to 88, but they scored 99.
And the question going in was, how was this team going to play without 3 of their regular starters? Teddy Allen injured, Jeremiah Tillman Jr. off to Turkey, Emmanuel Acott off to Mexico, and everybody chipping in this one, some massive games as well. Jelani Watson-Gale, 27 points. Trey McGowan's gave 14, Xavier Moon had 20, and Isaiah Osborne had 19, finding his stroke, 40% from the three-point line, almost 50% from the field in general. Everybody chipping in here with the stars gone. Xavier Moon, though, carrying this one, and he remains undefeated in target score time era in playoff games with another great game for Xavier Moon, who is now the clear-cut leader of this team without Teddy Allen.
Yeah, I mean, and I think he was the leader in many ways before, because he's the point guard. He's the guy they leaned on. He controls it. Teddy Allen was the star, because he could score like nobody else, in this league. But I'll tell you what, Xavier Moon showed once again why he's, a 3-time MVP. What a great performance by the entire Winnipeg Sea Bears team and organization.
While Sea Bears Nation beginning to believe, Jelani Watson-Gale giving the thumbs up to fans, channeling the closer era, Jelani Watson-Gale of 2023, an absolute stellar game, and this will quell some fears for Sea Bears fans. They move on to the conference semifinals in what is an absolutely stellar performance from the entire team. Chipping in here, pretty much everyone on the Sea Bears who saw the floor got some points. A lot of them in double digits. Filowich and Nagudi. Nagudi only played about 3 seconds, but those are the only 2 not to score. But Filowich had some major impact plays when he was on the floor, and this is a complete team effort from the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Now we've got Tegan Rasha standing by with our Booster Juice player of the game. Who else? Jelani Watson-Gale. Tegan.
Jelani, your team faced a lot of adversity this week with a lot of roster moves. How did you guys get the win tonight?
We just played together. We played hard together, and before the game, we believed we was going to win. It was just a next man up mentality. We have got a lot of good players on our team, so we lost a few, but the next we're ready.
An outstanding game for you, stepping up when it matters most. Describe your game tonight.
No, it was good today. I just wanted to play with confidence and just trust the work. So it happened. Today my shots went in, the team played well, they found me when I was open, so yeah, I'm just happy we was able to get a win. 3 years ago, I remember losing here the first round of the playoffs, so it's good to get a playoff win for the city.
You have just 2 days until your next playoff game. What do the next 2 days look like?
Recover. Today was a hard game, so we got to get off our feet, recover, and look forward to the next game.
All right, thanks and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tegan. Jelani Watson-Gale, your Booster Juice player of the game, 27 points to go along with 3 assists. He was 6 for 10, 60% from three-point land. He was 9 for 14 on the night from the field. An absolutely stellar performance from Jelani Watson-Gale. You heard him say it, Dave Crook. He was here in 2023. A dream magical season, a bunch of underdogs in that year who got upset by the Edmonton Stingers on home floor. It's been a long time. He found his way back here. Has to feel good to have that going into, to come in here and get the win in his first playoff game back since that game.
Yeah, he really answered questions, as did Trey McGowan's. The two of them, were in a situation where when Moon comes in, you don't really know what their role's going to be. And then they ended up both having to play tonight, and they both did a great job and were a big part of the Sea Bears victory.
Yeah, before we go to break, a valiant effort from the Saskatoon Mamba. 28 points from Tavian Dunn-Martin, most of those coming in target score time in the fourth quarter. Just a little too late. They got the urgency. He was getting those shots, but Tavian Dunn-Martin, you have to give it up to him. A 28-point performance leading all scorers, and he only had, I think, 14 going into the fourth quarter.
I mean, he was great, and he never gave up, and he didn't want his season to end, and he's been the motor for that team all season long. Was there again tonight. I thought Bediako also had a great game. Foul trouble really hurt him. He had to sit down, and Winnipeg took advantage of that, in the fourth quarter.
And that will do it for the Mamba season. The Sea Bears, though, we're waiting to see who their opponent is. 24-17 is the score in Vancouver. The Bandits leading the Stingers. Stay with us. We're going to wrap this thing up after the break. The Sea Bears win 99-88. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, TSN+, CEBL+, and YouTube.
You don't just fuel your body. You fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
The CEBL, Canada's Pro Basketball League, and redtag.ca brings Canadian basketball fans a chance to save up to $300 off on vacation bookings all season long with promo code CEBLFans. I wonder how our mascots would spend their time on vacation. Book today with Red Tag and save $300.
Redtag.ca.
Welcome back inside. It's a celebratory mood here in Winnipeg. They're hoping it's not the last game. Winnipeg winning their first ever playoff game, 99-88 against a natural rival, the Saskatoon Mamba. So now we are just one game away from setting up the Final Four. Winnipeg punching their ticket to the CEBL Western Conference semifinal. They are awaiting the winner out of the game happening right now in Vancouver. Vancouver hosting the Edmonton Stingers in a tight one. Vancouver currently leading in the first quarter, 27-23. You can catch that on TSN, I believe, 2, CBC Gem, TSN+, YouTube, and CEBL+. But this game here, Dave Crook, I mean, my goodness, this is a game, it's been a wild season. Let's start there. It's been an absolute wild season, and you have the wildest end you could ever imagine. right? I mean, like, you cannot fathom. If you've played basketball, coached basketball at any level, if you've played an entire season with a consistent roster and you lose 3 of those regular starters, 36 hours before your first playoff game, for the team to come together like this and galvanize this win, this bodes well for momentum going into the semifinal, regardless of who you're playing. But on the same token, you kind of have to turn the page on this, take the momentum, but you've not really done anything yet. As big as this feels, again, the first ever playoff win for the Winnipeg Sea Bears.
Yeah, it's a huge victory for them. They did great things, but I mean, you take Teddy Allen out of the lineup. I mean, Teddy Allen is probably going to be the MVP of the league. Had an amazing season, did all kinds of things for them all year long. Just a professional scorer, can really play the game. You take away Tillman, the only real legitimate big guy they have on the inside. He can protect the rim. He's a rebounder. He does all those things. You take away Akot, who's a jack of all trades, a bit of a Swiss Army knife. He can really guard. He can guard 1 through 5. You take away 3 critical pieces. And then for them to come out and put on a performance like they had today, and for the guys they needed to step up, and they really needed a performance from Watson Gale, and they got a performance from Watson Gale. They needed a performance from Gowans. He steps up with 14, does a great job. They needed Hildebrandt to play. He was effective. He was physical. He got after the glass. He knocked down some shots. So, they really needed those 3 guys, to do it for them, and they all did. And lastly, Isaiah Osborne, a guy who came in early and looked like he was going to be, one of the key pieces for this franchise, went through a 3-week drought where he couldn't make a shot, continued to play, did all the things he needed to do, and tonight, boy, the ball went in and he looked fantastic.
Yeah, we'll get into those stats in just a second, but to go back to Saskatoon, who really had a phenomenal season and put it all together down the stretch, found themselves in playoff position. This was a team that many had written off early in the season when they fell 0-4. They had a new head coach. They had some roster instability throughout the season, and they managed to gel at the absolute right time. And we talked about Tavian Dunn-Martin with his 28 points, an absolutely explosive performance in the 4th quarter. But enough can't be said about Jaden Bediako either. He was 5 for 9 from the field. He had 13 points, but more impressive, 17 rebounds, 7 of those on the offensive end. Problem was he had 4 fouls, right? So when you've got that many fouls against you, it's tough. 3 fouls, 4 fouls drawn. But when you're dealing with that amount of fouls and you have to sit the bench and they're trying to manage your time, that was the big advantage that Saskatoon had. But, Winnipeg getting out in transition didn't help.
No, and I think they did a bit of a risk. I think they went smaller to try to match the Sea Bears, instead of using Bediako, who'd been such an impactful part of the game for them. They played a little differently. But, Coach Fox did a great job all season long. He had great support. He's got good people working underneath him. But he did a great job in his first head coaching
phenomenal job.
Year. And this team just kept rallying, kept getting better and better and better. And they were dangerous. And they came into this game tonight. And, Winnipeg played outstanding. And if Winnipeg doesn't put on the performance they put on, where they're playing probably a little even better than expected, Saskatoon's right there with an opportunity to win.
Well, they held them to 9 points under their season average, which, again, 88 points is a lot. But on the same token, they held them under 90, which gave them a good shot. And a big reason for that is their defense. Even though they scored 88 points, they forced, some of them, I shouldn't say all forced. There were a lot of unforced turnovers for Saskatoon as well. But 19 turnovers for Saskatoon, only 2 for Winnipeg. Winnipeg mustering 11 steals in that game.
And I think 14 of them were first half, were they not? They really dictated the game with their defensive effort early, changed the way this game was played, put Saskatoon on the back foot a little bit. They never got flowing. They never did the things they wanted to do. We saw a target score, how they want to play and what they did. And when they do it like that, boy, oh boy, and with Dunn-Martin, one of the best who can, in this league, it was good to watch.
Yeah, and just too little too late, right?
Yeah.
So they had, if they had that urgency, not to say the urgency, but there was an urgency that you probably wouldn't want to see those shots as a coach throughout the game.
No,
right? But when the press is on, they put it up, and it's kind of, you can't really look back and say, oh, I wish we were doing that all game, because it's not the way that they play, right?
Well, they do play fast, though.
Yeah,
and
they do.
Winnipeg stopped them from playing at the tempo that they wanted to play at, and they kept talking. We heard it all night long that, Coach Fox kept saying, let's play fast, let's break them down, let's, on and on and on. At the same time, Coach Rainbow was saying the same thing, and you would expect him not to, but he wanted wanted to keep it going too, and they wanted to keep the tempo up. In the end, that recipe worked best for Winnipeg.
Yeah, taking a look just at some of these stats, 28 points off turnovers for Winnipeg, 0 for Saskatoon. Winnipeg also had more fast break points with 26 and 32 bench points. And I think to me that's the big one. 32 bench points means everybody's contributing. There was a lot of doubt coming into this. Aside from the players that we mentioned, there were also players that were really struggling down the stretch. Isaiah Osborne, as you mentioned. Jelani Watson-Gale, as you mentioned, and they blew out of that slump here tonight. It's a good game, but we saw this with Isaiah Osborne too, right? He had a good game against Ottawa, but then he followed it up, again, the travel disruptions and everything else, so there is a little bit of an asterisk there. But again, now they have to keep this momentum going into the next game, and it's tough now, Dave Crook, because you also don't know who you're playing until at least another hour and a half.
Right, but I mean, with Osborne, I mean, the game he put on tonight wasn't even like the game he put on against Ottawa. He was way better today.
Very good.
On both sides, he was really, really good. And the bench points are a little deceptive because you got 27 of them from Jelani Watson.
Fair. Still,
I mean, he was outstanding. And, this was a really good performance from the Sea Bears. They did what they had to do, and they came up with a big win at home, which is something, they cracked the ice because they'd never been in that position before. They'd never won a game here in the playoffs. So that was big for them. They never won a game anywhere in the playoffs. So that was big. But, at the same time, hey, Saskatoon gave it everything they had. They fought to the end. There was no quit in them. They did a lot of really good things. They just ran against a hot team, and sometimes that happens.
Yeah, and whoever they play in the next game, it's going to be a tough one because it's either going to be in Vancouver, who's currently up 35-25 on the Edmonton Stingers in the second quarter. And the Stingers, if they pull off that one, and the Stingers have pulled off those games in the past where they've been able to win the games on the road against a much more favored opponent, they're going to be coming in here with a ton of heat if they were to come play in Winnipeg, and that's a team that's also had a lot of success here. Again, it's hard to plan because you don't have your team, you don't know who your opponent is, but it's regardless, it's going to be a tough match, and I guess you just really have to focus on what you can do.
Right, and everybody's in the same situation, right? Everybody has, 2 days to get ready. Now, the good thing is, you've played each other enough. You have some, your scouts are available. You're not going to do a whole lot of changing going into, this big game. So that helps you a little bit. The hardest part for some of these teams is they're playing a Winnipeg team that looks so much different than they did all season long, right? And that's the thing, right? And it's like going against Vancouver a little bit, with the big man in the lineup when, Mitch Creek is there when he's not there. So, it'll be a test for everybody, but it's a fair test.
Yeah, and this game's in progress right now, and Vancouver also has Kyle Julius back behind the bench. He had stepped down after his suspension to go to China. He's back now, so he's GM and head coach in the playoffs here. They're currently up 11, 36-25. The Vancouver Bandits are. The Stingers are fighting for their playoff lives as well in another hostile environment. That is the Langley Event Center. Will Winnipeg be playing in Vancouver in that hostile environment, or will they play here? We don't know. We got to wait and see, so we'll let you get back to that game. Been a fun time calling this playoff game. It will be back to national games after this, but on behalf of our sideline reporter, Tegan Rosh, who did a wonderful job all year, yourself, Dave Crook, who always does a great job, our Rebecca, who filled in today, did a great job as our director, and all of her staff upstairs that makes this magic happen. I'm Joey Slattery saying thank you for tuning in all season. The Sea Bears stay alive after winning their first ever playoff game, 99-88. They wait to see who their opponent is in the conference semifinal. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy that Edmonton-Vancouver game. We'll see you on Saturday. Have a good night.
Knock 'em out the world, knock 'em out the ground with your head top down for some action.